Hello, everybody, and welcome to
Hello.
the Mushoku Tensei light novel streams. We are actually talking about Mushoku Tensei right before we start the stream, which is great. So, if
Yeah.
you
We're
want to
warming up
continue
to
this
it.
train of thought, this is actually okay to talk about on stream. That's why I moved this to
I mean,
stream.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, like,
Oh.
what I was
Yeah, go
going to
for it.
say is going to spoil it for Shem, so.
Oh, don't spoil things for Shim.
Yeah, because I'm
Exactly.
still working
Yeah.
through it. I will say
Like
there was
okay,
one
you've
part.
only encountered turning point 1. There's still
Yes.
with all the way through to the end of season 2 because we finished season 2 at this point.
Yes.
So the anime has passed volume 12, and the light novels do give a bit more context because
Yes.
this is one of those things that started off as a web novel and then it was kind of retweaked because there were things that were way worse in the web novel apparently, and then they punched it up, continuity fixes, stuff like that for the light novel. Then it became an anime, I think, before a manga. Anyway, it's just really well regarded that light novel, web novel, anime, manga. That is the order of what is really well done. Like, so the light novel's the best iteration, the manga's the worst iteration you could get a hold of. But the anime is still good. And you've already had one turning point in the anime. Like, that was the teleportation incident. There's still 2 more to go before you get to the end of season 2. Yeah. And then the next turning point is going to be the next turning point that happens in season 3. Because if people think there's not going to be any more turning points, you're out of your mind. Yeah, season 3 is going to have another turning point, and that's going to be huge.
Do you think they'll end it with season 3, or do you think they're going to do a season 4?
No, there has to be like a season 4. I would expect there'd be
Okay.
at least 4 to 5 seasons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the content of the anime, but like, okay, they go through about 6 volumes of the light novel per season. So if we're going from 12 to 18, we're getting pretty close. Unless they do an extended season, then we're only getting up to 24, and we have 2 more volumes that we can cover in like maybe an extended form. So maybe season 4 they just make it longer than just 24 episodes. They just make it a little extra long so it can cover the last 2 volumes.
Okay.
But yeah. And it also depends on how much context they cut out from the light novel to make in the anime. And there's a lot of stuff that actually revolves around Rudy that they handle really, really well in season 2 as well. Like, Rudy is a character that does grow. Guys, the thing that we're talking about here is that he likes the show. He just does not like Rudy, and that's okay. It's okay if you don't like Rudy. Rudy has a lot of Rudy has a lot of irredeemable features about him that he needs to work on. Oh yeah. And those are still prevalent. Those are still prevalent in modern Rudy, where he's at in the anime. They're just not as surface level as they were in the beginning. You know, there's more important shit going on than, you know, the thoughts of his penis. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think half of the reason he does all that shit is because he's got this thought in his head of like, I'm a precocious little kid. I can get away with this. And it's like, no, you can't.
It's like, no, you are not.
No, you are not a precocious little kid.
Physically, you are,
well,
not mentally.
The thing is, well, there's also a point. There will come a point where you stop thinking of Rudy as this person who lived a life of 40 years in a previous world, and even Rudy will just say goodbye to that, and he's like, I am fully invested. I am this person now. I am no longer who I was. I am Rudius Grey Rat. And he just stops being, not necessarily like he forgets everything, but he just is like, no, I'm this person now. I am no longer that old person.
I actually think I know the moment you're talking about, too.
Yeah. Well, no, it's in the second half. It's toward the end of the second half of season 2. Like, very much toward the end. It's the last episode of season 2. It's the last episode.
Oh, so like the ass end of season 2.
Oh, really?
Yes, but it's very powerful.
Okay.
But you need the context of everything that happens like right before
that
to understand
jump all the way
his decision making. So at that point in time, he just is Rudius Grey Rat. From that point forward, he's kind of Rudius Grey Rat and not the other person that he was. That's not to say that he just forgets about his past life or everything, but he's like, no, I am this person now. I am now this age. This is how old I am. I this is the circumstances that I am living this life. I am not going to I'm not going to use my previous life for whatever. Like, he's not going to think in terms of how he thought in his previous life. He's going to move forward as this person in this world, in these circumstances, and he just kind of accepts and embraces that he's Rudy. He's no longer that disgusting thing that he was before, you know? And it's a very impactful thing that makes him make that choice, that causes him to make that choice. It's Rudy grows. Good. Rudy does grow.
Good.
But again, you're like maybe halfway into season 1. So like I absolutely understand where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
I'm also like kind of co-watching this with somebody else, and somebody was like, "Yeah, this is my least favorite anime."
Oh wow.
Like, fair.
Because of Rudy?
Like so far.
I mean, yeah,
so far.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like moments. 12 episodes in.
Once you get
They haven't dropped it yet though, huh?
Once you get to, well, I mean, the thing is, it actually is pretty damn well written, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's what frustrates me.
And the point is, nobody in this series is good. There are very few people that are inherently good. The thing that makes this story so interesting is that these are human characters. 100%. These are real kind of, you could see these people breathing and existing in our world because they are just as fallible, just as easy to make mistakes. Also, I think, and I'm not trying to get all hyper fixated on stuff, but like, I think we've gotten to a point where we're hyper fixated on the moment that you make a mistake, it's now irredeemable. We have lowered the bar for what is irredeemable. Now, that's not to say that there are not irredeemable crimes. There absolutely are. But we've very much lowered the bar, and I'm trying not to use the words cancel culture or anything like that. But it's like this is a series that I think people need nowadays because they're so quick to just perma-judge someone and not let them change and learn and grow from who they once were. And that is problematic. You're not meant to like the things that Rudy does. You're not like, that's the point. That's the intent that the author had. He's like, yeah, you can like Rudy, but also not like Rudy, is a thing that the author kind of conveyed. Is like, hey, you can kind of like a lot of the aspects of this character and extremely dislike others. You're meant to, because you're getting a whole person. And this is, and like, it's not just you're getting like all of the facets of a person. You're getting all of the facets of a completely broken person. In some cases, yes, he does know better, but also a lot of the times, especially when it's perverted thoughts, he lets the intrusive thoughts win because he didn't interact with people for a significant he didn't interact with people for a significant portion of his life, and also he kind of was just raised by the internet for most of his adult life. And that is the worst place to like learn morals or any other stuff. And Japanese people are polite in person. You get them on the internet, they are just as bad as we are. They are just as savage as Americans. They are, holy cow.
I think that's just in general. If you're anonymous and you're on the internet,
yeah, exactly.
You feel like you can get away with different things.
He spent the majority of his life learning all of the social behaviors from. Oh, hey, Ravenclaw. He spent the majority of his adult life learning social behavior and social acceptance stuff from the internet. No, that's a good explanation as to why he's so freaking messed up as an individual. But the thing is, he also realizes that he messed up and he has remorse and he does apologize. You're not meant to like a lot of the things that he does, but there are going to be times where he genuinely makes you root for him. Like, since you're at that point, since we've gotten to the teleportation incident, the first thing that he did was try to placate Regerd so that they would not get attacked. He had to protect Eris. it's so much more intense because the anime is not able to convey all of the little details in the light novel. But when we get there, I think it's volume 3 when we get to the when we get to all the demon continent stuff, and you get like the hard internal monologue from Rudy. I mean, they did do that. They give you the internal monologue for Rudy for why he's doing a lot of the stuff that he's doing, because he's like, I have to protect this person, and then he's like, I'm gonna help this person. Like, when Rudy commits to something, he commits to something, and that's an admirable trait of his. Sorry, I'm gonna let you keep going. I've yammered too much, and there are other people who could possibly defend this show as well. But no, if you
I'm just letting you go.
Yeah, if you have a time, if you have like a bit of time of difficulties liking Rudy, that's okay, and that's intentional. So
yeah, that's fair. Well, see, the thing is, I say that because I know that he can do better. You know
oh yeah,
I mean?
and
of course, I'm sure he's going to do that
understands. He realizes and understands that too.
Yeah.
However, there's always the Japanese perviness in anime that gets pervaded in, and I'm like, why did
like
we
I had to
do
skip
this?
past a couple scenes because it was like it lingered way too long, and I just wanted to reach into the screen, grab his fucking scruff of his neck, go stop.
I would actually like listen to this as I'm playing a game and like glance and be like, okay, this scene's happening. It's like, okay.
I was
whatever.
like, you are doing so good. Stop.
Mushoku Tensei, you do still have to pay attention to, and like,
of course,
oh yeah,
of course.
You can't just sit
because there's a lot of reading to do, especially since I'm watching in dub.
Oh,
well, not dub, sorry, sub.
Oh, okay, yeah.
One of my friends was watching the entire thing in dub.
Y'all continue on with your conversation.
Yeah, but I mean,
so,
it's
okay,
it's
where
all
did
right.
you last leave off? I'm curious.
Like, episode 12. Like, that's literally the last thing that happened when he was like, I'm going to sell the stuff. And then he's like, you should not sell the stuff. What about her feelings? And then he's like, oh, yeah.
When they're forming the party for the first time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
So it's like halfway through season 1. So about a quarter of what's out there right now. So I'm also kind of looking at other things I want to watch as well. I haven't watched a ton recently, but I did catch up, so on some of my backlog, but not that much, but just a little bit. So I'm happy. I was really happy that I was able to.
Don't sell your fucking staff.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, yeah, dude, she made like, what was it? The family made that for you, or yeah. Well,
no,
not it wasn't Roxy's staff.
Oh, that's right. Roxy gave him the wand.
No, what it was
the
she
wand.
had saved up her own money. She took the lessons Rudy taught her, and she was so proud that she saved up the money to have that made for him.
Yeah, and he was just going to be like, I'm just going to sell it so that we can do some stuff. And it's like, dude, she's going to be so upset. You don't fucking do that. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's like, I get mad at some of the things that he decides to do. I'm glad he didn't do it, but like, some of the stuff that he does, it just makes me want to just say.
Also,
not just
that's a short-term answer, and that's a short-term solution, but it causes a long-term problem.
When it comes to
like,
Windport and when he was making his choice to sell the staff without talking to the others, I can get why you felt frustrated.
I was like, don't do that.
But at the same time, like, he thought he was completely out of options. It's not something he wanted to do, and he agonized over it.
I know he thought about it, but I was like, you can't do. That's like your only way of protecting yourself and doing anything. Like, not the only way, but it was like, dude, it has helped you so much.
That was a good way.
Like, why, I know it was like, they're strapped for cash right now, but it's like, you can't do that. That is your money maker, man. You can't do that. I'm sure he has other ways that he could have made the cash, but also it's just kind of like...
No, you got to understand. I think you misunderstood a part. It's not that they were strapped for cash. It's that the price to get a spurred over there is astronomically high.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, they were strapped for cash to get him over. You know what I mean? And I know that's when he was like, oh, it was my fault. I got ourselves dragged into this. And it was like, I get it. But it's like, dude, you gotta... what was it? You need to understand.
Think of it like this. Okay.
You need to work with the team, not against them.
The Demon Continent also has the lowest economy. Like, their coinage is the lowest amount.
Yes.
And So say we're working on the peso, right?
Yes. Okay.
Let's say, for argument's sake, in this instance, 1 peso is equal to 1/100th of a penny.
Okay.
All right. In the demon
Yes.
continent, you're doing good. You got pesos for days. You got somewhere around like $200-300 worth of pesos, right?
Okay.
You're doing good. Then, in order to ferry with you this man who has been protecting you this whole way, that you trust and rely on, they say you need $1 billion. You're not strapped for cash. That's just fucking unreasonable.
Yeah, it's just bad.
That's the context that was going on there. They are by no means poor. Dude, just look
strapped
at the
for cash
crazy,
was a bad way for me to put it.
Yeah.
I was just like,
look at the crazy amount of food that he gave to
I don't even remember her name.
Kishirisu.
Yeah, I was like,
oh yeah,
fuck is
people who spoke a different language.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, oh, okay, the animation has just suddenly gone like full trigger. All right, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting, but I was like, what the fuck was her name again?
Well, here's the
Some of the
thing.
people in this anime, I just kind of tilt my head. I was like, what the fuck?
He was making a
Why
joke.
are you here? Who are you?
Here's the funny thing. He was making a joke about the pay with your body thing, and then she started taking her pants down. He was like, what? But also, Kishirika.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kishirika,
I was more talking about what the fuck is her name?
Yeah. But her, you got to understand, even taking his past life into account, to her, he is a fucking toddler.
Oh, 100%.
It
She's
is
like
the
what?
opposite end.
Thousands?
She's like, several thousands.
Yeah, she's a demon empress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Emperor. Well, she calls herself Demon Emperor.
The not Millum character of this series.
Now, here's the funny story. You will get the backstory about what happened to her at a later time.
Oh, of course, I'm sure. You can't make a character like that and just not do anything with that person.
Yet?
No, you have not. That's like season 4 shit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also true. It is later. It is much, much later. Oh, shoot. Hang on. I just realized I had you guys muted. I'm so sorry. Kishirisu.
So we've just been sitting here for the last 20 minutes.
So we basically made like stealth anime.
And you've just been talking like an absolute madman.
I have. Sorry. Wait, what? No, okay. Here's the problem. No, you guys were unmuted, and Discord for some reason muted you again, because I just unmuted you and it muted you again. I don't know why it's doing that.
Did you hit like a hotkey or something like that? I think there's like a hotkey.
Maybe. Oh, I may have. I may have laid something.
That can happen. There's like a thing where
I may have laid my chips. Here's the thing. It weighs nothing. It's basically air.
Yeah.
It falls on my keyboard, and you guys are muted.
It's very light.
That's all right.
Very light.
That's okay. We haven't even started reading yet, so.
Yeah, thankfully.
So they didn't miss any of like the actual content that we were here to do in the first place. We're just kind of babbling about Mushoku.
Just our thoughts of the actual series and the emotional weight of it all.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna keep up with it. I'm not gonna just drop it, but like still, he has yet to win me over yet so far. And those are my thoughts.
I honestly, for me, if I was gonna be like, all right, if you don't win me in like 3 episodes, I'm not even gonna be doing the reading here.
Well, I mean, it's also not like. Honestly, it's not like the traditional like character path. It's like, okay, it's supposed to take a long fucking time
for him to learn and grow.
48 episodes. His biggest,
to milk.
Well, guys, you have to realize. You guys also have to realize. Holy shit, dude! His biggest trauma was just leaving the house.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was such a thing, and like for him to have overcome that was a huge step forward.
Yep.
To go from introvert to extrovert is a big step.
extreme introvert too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Extreme
Also don't know
isolationist.
I don't know what the Milkman's deal is yet, but I know he was going to come into play later.
You can't even really blame him for that too, considering what happened to him.
I
don't think
we've read. I don't think we've read. Hero has returned. I'm sorry. Somebody in chat asked that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was just kind of reading ahead a little bit, just so I knew what to kind of expect for some of it.
Also, Milkman? Who?
Yeah, Milkman, the white guy. You know what I'm talking about?
God. Okay.
The man god, the Milkman.
Yeah, the man god. Don't call him the Milkman. That he's just a glorified
Milkman is terrible.
He's the steam man.
He just looked. I don't know. When I saw him, I was like,
no
he
reason.
looks like he's made out of milk. He's a milkman.
No.
I feel like Steam Man would be better because at least you're like you can't really.
I know because he's in like a sauna.
Like a sauna kind of area. Yeah.
That's insulting to the glorified profession of milkman who constantly steal wives from married men.
Like in the Goofy short. I didn't pick up on that until later. I was like, oh man, what a nice milkman. He kisses every. Oh. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until later, and I was like, oh, I get it. Holy shit.
I like to think that the moment you stumbled onto that is the exact moment where the Pornhub drums played.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not a young man anymore. I just laughed because I was just like, oh yeah, he's just a nice guy.
Clip Holy Cats, which we have turned off for the stream.
Oh.
There is a... No, there's not a sound clip for Holy Cats.
There isn't?
Not for this one?
No.
Oh. I wasn't tuned in, so... That's only for the slime
turning off the
novels,
alerts?
right?
If I'm turning off the alerts, right?
I think so.
I don't
Are the alerts turned off, or...?
No, they're on.
Thought you usually
okay.
did.
I don't... I don't... Not for this. I think we do for Mushoku Tensei, but I'm not 100% sure. At this point, or not Mushoku Tensei, solo leveling.
The slime. Oh, solo leveling, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I demand Holy Cats, whatever that is. Holy Cats is literally you find the cat in a Pope outfit icon that we have, or the emote, and everybody just spams the Holy Cat.
Oh, excuse me.
That's what that is. You spam Holy Cat.
Yeah.
There is, yes, that. That's what's supposed to happen when you have Holy Cats.
Yes.
This is Holy Cats. You're welcome.
Yes.
All right. Now that we've had that VH1 moment in light novel history.
Yep. Hope you guys don't hear the phone ring in the background there.
Yes, cats. Okay. Also, welcome back, Ravenclaw. I love that Ravenclaw has been showing up consistently for all these streams. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Very nice.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Love having more active chat people. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So, thanks. Good to be here. Well, here's the good news. man. I should just call everybody dude again. Get back in that because everybody's like, I bumped into somebody and they were like, "Don't call me a dude. I'm a girl." And I'm like, "Dude, I call everything a dude. I have called inanimate objects
I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. We're all dudes. Hey."
Dude is the most gender-neutral word I have in my arsenal. I stubbed my toe on my table the other day, and I shouted "dude" at it. Come on.
What the fuck, dude? Why'd you do that to my toe, even though you're an inanimate object?
No, I literally hit my toe on a table, looked at the table, and went, "Dude!"
Holy shit.
If anyone was in that room, it's like, what? What I do? What happened? What I do? No, not you.
Not you, the table. Like, why are you calling the table dude?
You're calling the table the dude? What the fuck?
You come over here and stub your toe on it and tell me you don't want to shout "dude." No,
I mean, I'd probably shout other
enough.
things.
Fair enough.
Dude is not one of them.
Well, I have 2 nieces, so.
Yes.
And they're 11, my guy. No, wait.
Yes.
12. Jesus, one of them is going to be 13 soon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, I forgot. Where's I totally forgot about Fenris. Is he?
I don't remember if he said he was able to show up today or not. I think he said he wasn't going to be here. I can't remember.
Gotcha.
I mean, you're free to reach out to him and ask, but I don't.
No. It just dawned on me like, oh yeah, he's not in here.
I'm not going to try hurting.
Just not going on a row.
I'm not going to try hurting cats today. That's what I consider it when I'm trying to get everybody on for the light novel streams. I'm like, I'm hurting cats, man.
Wait.
Meow.
At times, you know.
Get in here, right? Meow.
Meow. Meow me, no meow you.
By the way, this is the perfect opportunity for more holy cats.
So should I go ahead and
I'm going to hell for that bit. Turn. All right, so.
Oh. You're going to cat hell for that one.
No.
They got 9 levels of that.
Are you meowing? No, I need to listen. No, you need to listen to me, right? Meow.
I'm kidding you, right, Meow?
It is. You know, it's funny. We're making cat jokes. It is.
I'm
Monday.
not even
There's
kidding.
A Garfield reference.
I'm not even kidding.
Not even kidding.
I'm not even kidding you.
Oh.
Well, now that you mention it.
Right. Oh.
Shem.
Yes.
Remember, if you have a secret to tell me, make sure to whisper it to me.
Oh my God.
But if it's too long, but if it's too long,
right,
you have to.
I think we need to press the pause on this.
Yeah.
But if it's too long,
all right, I'll give you that one.
If it's too long, you got to cut it short because I'm not in it for the tail.
That's good. Not even cat related.
Tails.
It's cat neutral, if anything.
Here's a tail. Yeah.
Everything has tails.
Yeah, I mean,
DuckTales.
That'd be cool.
Woo woo.
Woohoo.
Every day we're thinking about them DuckTales. Woo woo.
Yes. Uh-oh. Interesting.
I don't know, man. I'm just feeling a bit catty today.
Mondays, am I
just
right?
catnip it in the bud.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, these jokes are getting clawful. We gotta stop. Remember when we had that 1 hour food?
These jokes are about where a spade are. They're welcome.
For food, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, this one feels a bit more perfect.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say something about neutral and try and see if I could make it with neuter, but I didn't think I could pull it off.
No, I was doing it, yeah.
Maybe spade. There gotta be a spade joke somewhere.
He already did his spade joke.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't beat me to it, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The joke is long over spade. It's welcome.
He spade you the trouble.
No.
I know, it was the perfect joke for him.
I
don't know. It was pretty short. I'd consider it the runt of the litter.
Well, now that we've made Sonic about as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, let's move on.
Like I was just waiting. Like should I just like be like, no, I'm just gonna start, or are we gonna continue?
No, just embrace the catnip, my guy. Just embrace it. All right. Anyway. Guys, welcome to Mushoku Tensei light novel readings. We are on chapter 11, not bankruptcy, just the actual chapter 11 of book 1. So please open your holy books of Mushoku Tensei. I'm not saying man god. Fuck that dude.
Fuck him.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Man
Like-
God congregation.
No, not
I
at
still
all.
don't have
No.
good feelings about that
Eh.
guy.
You
It
should
gives
not.
me-
You should not.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you find Rudy creeping, like, if you're
I
like
don't like him
silently
either.
alarms are going off for Rudy and you're like, you find him creeping, fucking sirens should be blaring when you see the Man God.
Yeah, I don't like him either. I don't like his voice actor. No,
Oh,
his
no,
voice
that's
actor
on
is great.
purpose.
I just don't like him
Yeah.
at all. And I was like, oh man, he's gonna do something so bad. I have bad because he gives me the same vibes as the fucking guy from Full Metal Alchemist. The fucking
Oh yeah, I know
like,
who
you
you're
know,
talking about.
yeah, the
Yeah.
god guy, you know, the guy who started the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
He gives me like that kind of vibes. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
ew, I don't like that guy either.
If you're feeling disturbed by this character, that is the
Ew.
right feeling for you to be feeling.
Yeah. It's bad.
And we will be getting to that character within a month or
Oh
two.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure.
quick bit of announcing. Konosuba has now entered into the editing stage, so there's a bunch of stuff for that. We're also going to be doing pickups. I've got an extra scene I'm going to be adding to it because I'm like, I want to do an alternate take possibly, and whichever one is funniest is the one that's going to make it in. Like, do we do one that's serious, or do we do one where we build a thing up and then just let it flop because it's funny? Yeah. I can't tell. You know what? So few people watch this stream. Here's one of the things I'm thinking. We actually let Megumin go through the full, unadorned version of her build up to explosion. And then we get to it. We get to the moment where she's supposed to say explosion, which right now we just have an abbreviated version and they actually do the explosion. I'm just like, why don't we just let Megumin do the full freaking monologue, build up to it, and instead of saying explosion, she just goes, ah.
And then the whole thing explodes.
But that's where the explosion gets cast, is when she goes, ah. Here's the thing, guys. If you know, you know. If you know,
there's
about
also
the debut,
I think at the
if
same
you know
time
about,
you announced that.
If you know about the debut of a certain blue shark girl that exists on the internet,
oh yeah, for sure.
Then you know the joke we're making, and that was what I was thinking should be the alternate take versus what we actually have, and I'm torn because I like both of them. So. This is not one of those things where you vote now on your phones. No, you don't do that. No. Because then everybody votes so hard that the country falls apart and we start little micro wars, and the only way we can be saved is through Oda Nobunaga. You know, there's that whole thing. The Onin War. People voted too hard that everybody's phone exploded and then they got mad.
Well,
I learned this from Bill Wirtz in his History of Japan.
Oh yeah.
It was so funny. Vote now on your
It's a
phones.
plane.
Everybody
It's
voted so hard that the
turds.
kingdom burned down, the palace burned down, and like, oh, no, we don't need that. We don't need that, guys.
Yeah.
All right. All jokes aside, we're actually about 87% of the way through. We might be able to get through this today. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we've got quite a bit. So I'm back to voicing Rudy. And let's see. This time Sonic is going to be reading. So it's going to be interesting. The guy that interrupts the most is the guy that's going to be reading this time. So do we just collectively
and
do
you're
the
going to be
interrupting?
interrupting me, so it's going to be a complete 180.
No. I actually like it if everybody else interrupts you. Shim, you are interruption duty.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what? That's fine. Like I'll be interested to see what point is it like, Shem, I swear to God, fucking keep doing this to me.
Do you want me to get to that point?
I'm curious if and when.
I can try.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying.
But you totally can.
Okay.
But I'll tell you because I'm gonna take this water bottle. I'm gonna like smack you over the head with it if we could. It's like, motherfucker. Anyway.
Am I the asshole?
All right.
Oh man, it's so funny, my guy. Dude,
But
when is
without
the
further
Haikyuu movie?
ado, Chapter 11, Potted.
Bankruptcy.
Yes.
Bankruptcy. Yep, Rudy's getting bankrupt. All right. One morning, maybe a month after I told Paul that I wanted to start working, a letter addressed to him arrived at our home. It was probably a reply that I've been waiting for. I've tried my best to brace myself for the news without getting too impatient. Would he tell me after training? At lunch? Maybe dinner? For the moment, I decided to focus on our sword practice. Ellipses. As it happened, though, he chose to bring it up before we even finished training. Hey, Rudy.
Oh, sorry. I got caught up
Rudy!
reading a thing.
Reading the wrong thing, apparently.
You're
Yeah,
reading the
well,
wrong letters, damn it!
No, I'm not. I'm actually. I had a question about something and I Googled it and I'm trying to find the freaking answer. Sorry. Anyway.
Don't you sass me, boy.
Yes, dumbass. What is it?
Yeah, Paul.
I mean, I'm sorry. Dumas. Yes, Dumas. What is it?
Make me smack you with the hilt of my sword upside your head.
I think that's how you got into this mess in the first place, was playing with your sword a little too much.
Not wrong.
Yes, Father? What is it?
Trying to keep my face composed, I waited eagerly for Paul's next words. This was going to be my first job ever. In either life, I had to nail this. But instead of giving me the good news I was expecting, Paul took things in a strange direction. Tell me something. What would you do if I said you had to stop seeing Sylphie for a while?
What? I'd probably beat your bitch ass up.
Damn.
I'd object,
Tell
obviously.
you to fuck off.
I'd tell you to fuck off, you word I can't say on Twitch.
Fuck off and tear that goddamn
You
shove that
silly
paper
man.
up your ass.
You silly man.
You silly man.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is the worst father on the Citadel.
Right. Figures.
What's this about?
Forget it. No point talking this over. You just twist it all around on me, I'm sure. The instant these words left Paul's mouth, his expression changed dramatically. All of a sudden, there was a murder in his eyes. Even an amateur like me could sit... There was. Oh,
I didn't know there was a whole. I didn't know there was a whole fucking murder of crows.
A murderer bored his way into Paul's face, crawling into him, dead space style, like one of those parasites, and taking over his body. Yeah, the necromorphs.
I'm looking where that is. I don't see that on the page.
Even an amateur Dead Space player like me, who has never played the original game, could see what was coming next.
Interessante.
Thanks for a shameless plug. We're streaming and recording Dead Space footage for a Dead Space Bridge on Saturdays here on this channel.
I wasn't even actually thinking of that, but okay, that works
thanks for
too.
The plug. Thanks for the plug that you didn't even know you were doing.
The unintentional plug.
Unintentional advertisement is best advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of advertising things, have you guys got to check out the... Well, I mean, Moon and Shem probably wouldn't be able to, but Rich, you probably be able to check out the reviewable episode for Data Bridged.
No.
Okay.
I'm not watching it till it comes out.
Fair. All right. Even an amateur like me could sense what was coming next.
What?
In one smooth, intimidating motion, my father leapt forward. Death was rushing straight at me, cold and silent. Acting on pure instinct, I responded with all the power at my disposal. using fire and wind magic simultaneously to create a blast between us.
Damn it. I
jumped
really
back-
wanted to interrupt you with power at my disposal. Be like, let's all just stand around like idiots until somebody does something.
Well, it's a good thing that I jumped backwards just as the wave of hot wind struck me, letting the impact carry me farther.
Hot wind.
And no, I did not. Ah, dang it.
Yeah!
As it happened,
I love that
I
Shim
played
turned
out
it
the
into a
scenario
fart
in
joke.
my. Makes sense. They're pretty warm.
Mm-hmm.
As it
At least body
happened.
temperature.
Oh yeah, true. As it happened, I played out the scenario in my head more than once. In a fight against Paul, I had no chance unless I put some distance between us at the start. The blast would hurt me as much as him, but as long as I took the damage without flinching, it would buy me a bit of space. Only a bit, of course. My totally unscathed father was still running forward, his body low to the ground. Am I supposed to read the italicized parts or no?
The internal
Richie?
thoughts.
Yeah. Richie? Well, he's dead.
He might be doing something, so.
I'll just assume for now I'm doing it.
What are you doing?
I didn't do it.
Oh,
Do,
that part.
do I read the italicized parts for like the thoughts, or do you do it because he's the character?
I think you do it because that's not Rudy's voice. That's his inner voice.
Okay. Didn't do a damn thing to him. I hadn't expected anything else, but it was still terrifying. I needed to make my next move, and fast. Just backing up wouldn't work. The guy running forward would always be faster. Acting on a reflective judgment call, I set off a shockwave right next to myself. The blow hit me hard enough to send me flying to the side. In that same instance, I heard something slice through the air next to my ear, and my blood ran cold. Paul's sword had slashed through the space where my head had been a split second earlier. Well, that's good, I guess. I dodged the first attack. That was a very big deal. He was still close, but I'd put a little distance between us. I started seeing some possibilities. Some possibilities I might win. I started seeing some possibility I might win this. As as Paul turned towards me to press the attack, I cast a spell that turned the ground in front of him into a sinkhole. His leading foot stepped right into the trap.
Hey,
He instantly shifted his He instantly shifted his body's entire weight onto the other leg and freed himself, barely even missing a beat. Damn! Do I need to catch both of his legs at once? This time, I transformed the ground around me into a thick, watery bog. Before I could sink into it, I fired a small jet of water at the ground in front of me, sending myself gliding backwards across the surface. By the time I realized that I wasn't moving fast enough, it was too late. Paul reached the edge of my little swamp and took one great bound forward. The force of his stride actually left a small crater in the ground. The man was going to reach me in a single leap.
Oh. Ah!
I swung my sword in a blind panic, trying to intercept him. It was an ugly, careless attack. Nothing like the strikes I'd learned. The grip of my sword wobbled unpleasantly in my hands as my blow was gently turned aside. I could tell Paul had used water god style defense, for all the good it did me. Once a water god swordsman deflects your blow, they always follow up with a counter strike. I knew what was coming, but I couldn't do a thing about it. Paul's blade arced towards me for a moment that lasted an eternity. Well, I'm glad we're using wood swords at least. A short, sharp blow to my neck knocked me instantly unconscious.
All right. So, Moon,
Ouch.
Yeah.
in the context of what just happened and knowing what you know, about events that are going to be transpiring in the future, Paul's a real piece of shit.
A bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gather that too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Paul's a real piece of shit here.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like, I know I'm not gonna beat you in a battle of words, so I'm just gonna
not
beat
that.
you.
Not that. No, not that.
Yeah, it's not that.
It is the sheer
There's
fact.
more, I'm sure.
It is the sheer fact that the entire relationship between Rudy and Paul is the way it is because he did this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and then what happens is late.
No, you haven't even gotten to the full. You have to get to the end of season 2 to fully understand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is even
That's not
okay.
far away.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So far away, we wait for the
Well, especially for me.
day.
I'm only like a quarter.
I'm like
We got a lot to
2/3.
go.
Well, 2/3. 2/3.
Feels like the episodes go by pretty fast, though, actually.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of just blow by.
Especially in season 1 because they don't have an OP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like that. That's one thing that I can appreciate about the show in general. Sorry, going back to that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have
No, you're fine.
openings, or they do have the opening song, but like it doesn't impede what's going on. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah, there's
naturally blends into
absolutely
what's
no
going on.
spoiler.
Sometimes.
There's absolutely no spoiler, and it complements the episode.
Yeah, I do greatly appreciate that.
I really
good.
fucking wish they had just stuck with that for season 2. Sadly, they don't.
I wish that more anime did that too, because it just seems like they do that for episodes that are really important, but I feel like if you do it for all of them, you'll get just like a little bit more out of the show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is good because like a little bit, like every episode would go a long way in terms of trying to pace things out. You know, so they don't have to shove everything and make room for the opening and everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Because
think
the opening is like 2
opening-
minutes long for most animes,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like
Yeah, I
that's a
don't
lot of
think
time to do stuff.
I don't think the season 2, like the when they start doing the more like not episode like following the episode ones, I don't think they
Yeah.
spoil anything particularly when they do like the static one.
Yeah, they do.
At least to my knowledge, because I kind of skimmed through it.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
Okay,
they do?
then
Okay.
I'm probably glad I do that then.
Especially in core 2 of season 2, part 2 of season 2, major fucking spoilers.
Oh,
Good to
okay,
know.
yeah, I'm glad I'm doing that. I'm keep that in mind then.
All right. Also, sorry I cut you off.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
once you get to the final episode, you
How
can
dare
watch
you.
the OP.
Oh wait, I shan't apologize. That was my job. I was supposed to interrupt.
We're just doing.
I mean,
our
we were at a
job.
break anyway, so it's fine. Anyway. It's like that whole chat we just had was like a dream. Ugh. When I woke up, I found myself inside a box of some sort. Given all the swaying and clattering going on, it was presumably some kind of vehicle. Like a like apparently I've never been in a carriage before, which actually thinking about it, yeah, he probably hasn't. Like, has he even been in a car now that I think about it?
They don't have cars in this world.
Well, I know, but in his previous life.
He wakes up
In
in a
his
fucking
previous
Toyota
life,
Prius.
for sure, but that
I
doesn't
guess,
matter.
yeah, because a bus. He would take the bus or something.
Wakes up
maybe.
in a Subaru Forester. Where the fuck am I?
No, typically they
It's
don't
funny
do-
because we actually have that here, so I can actually picture that.
My guy, you're thinking in American terms.
Oh.
Yeah.
They use trains to get from place to place over there.
Oh, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my American brain.
Mm-hmm. They don't have the magic school bus, my guy.
Beep beep.
But here's the thing, though.
Seatbelts, everyone.
Were they tied up, just like Rudy is right now?
Oh my god.
I tried to sit up, only to discover that I couldn't move at all. Looking down, I realized I was tightly bound in quite a lot of rope. What the hell's going on here? I managed to turn my neck enough to look around and saw there was a woman in there with me. She had dark brown skin, a muscular body covered in scars, and skimpy leather clothes that didn't leave much to the imagination. The strong features of her face, combined with the eye patch she was wearing, gave her a definite tough guy vibe. Pretty much the picture of a fearless female warrior from some fantasy show. Especially given those big, fluffy ears and tiger-like tail.
Shem, calm
Apparently,
down.
sensing my eyes on her, the woman glanced down at me.
How did you know? I'm frothing in the mouth.
We know your type. We know your type.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know when I paused there, I looked at everyone like,
We don't serve your kind
hungry.
here.
Yes.
You're dorks. They'll have to leave.
No muscle women lovers welcome here. Shame.
It's a couple I can think of that I like. I might have to show you later.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh,
Yeah, who is? Oh yeah, that's right. That's your line.
Right, there you are. All right. Just I there's only one person I can share that thought with because they're the only person that would get it, and it's Moon. No, I didn't make a joke. I made an observation.
An observation. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's an observation. If I told you right now, it would ruin so much of the show for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Moon. Right now, this boy is 7. 7.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
The next time we have this serious fucking conversation, you know the one I'm talking about, toward the end of season 2, where they had that serious conversation, he and Paul do. And Paul's like, Ayo, what the fuck? Why don't you feel the way I feel? This is the reason. And it's all Paul's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is it. In this moment, you don't realize how impactful this moment is until you go later and then come back and re-experience this. And it's like, damn. So I genuinely hope that you guys get caught up on season 2 and then come back to this moment.
Okay.
Because this is kind of an important moment in Rudy's life.
What I gather is Paul's a piece of poo.
Oh, definitely.
There is that.
Putting
but
it
that's
lightly,
not the thing.
Paul's a piece of poo.
That's not the thing we're talking about, though. I'm dancing
Paul's
around
a piece of
it.
poo parent.
No, I'm dancing around what we're actually talking about. So I'm actually glad you're focusing on Paul, because that's not the thing we're talking about.
Okay.
Because I can only think about
sure
the midpoint where he finally meets up with it again. But apparently, from what I'm hearing from you guys, there's a second time this comes up. This kind of thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Very different thing.
So I can
Very
only
different thing.
get an idea of what I'm like I'm in between these two sets of people.
Moon, do you have Spotify?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have an account.
Or I mean, well, if you don't, it's okay. It's on YouTube too. I'm gonna send you a track to listen to that's gonna make so much sense for this. But just flip it from dad to daughter to the other. Oh God!
Why do I get the feeling that we're going to be asked random citizen a similar thing when we're caught up?
All right. Yeah, you probably will get this sent to you. Yeah.
It will be me, then Shem eventually. I'll be like, yes.
All right. I have done the thing that I needed to do. We will now continue. Sorry.
And I believe it's the line that you're supposed to read now as well.
Nice to meet you.
I said.
My name's Rudius Greyrat. Pardon my manners. I can't seem to get up at the moment.
Okay, I'm making sure I'm saying this right. A preemptive?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Discord, could you not cover up my screen there? Thank you. A preemptive introduction felt like the right move. The most basic rule of conversation was to start talking first. Once you seize the initiative, you can control where things went from there.
Oh.
Who's Ghislaine?
No. All right, Shem, you're Ghislaine.
Okay. let me
No,
try.
that's perfect. That is perfect casting.
You gotta
Oh, okay.
channel that image into
All
a
right.
person.
For Paul's
there's
son.
so much.
hold on.
There's so much Rule 34 stuff for her.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You
I
like,
know.
yeah, actually,
Shem,
it's
you're gonna
fitting
eat good
too,
later,
because
I'm
Shem,
sure.
you like the muscular
Oh.
women, so this is
Oh.
perfect.
Oh yeah, I already saw like what there was one moment in season 1. I was like, oh my god, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, I think I know the moment you're
Shem
talking
saw
about.
her and he was like, I will now eat that ass.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I don't. Yeah. that is. It's not a bakery, man. That is the entire industrial meat complex.
Absolutely.
This is awesome.
It's a
The
meatery, not a
industrial,
bakery.
no, the industrial wheat complex.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Water wheel and everything.
Now you're cooking.
Yeah. Let me see if I can try and channel her. I have my arms crossed
you don't
in
have to.
character.
It's okay. It's
You know what you should do? I think you should Superman pose when you talk as her.
She doesn't Superman pose. She crosses her arms.
Yeah, but you get that
She's
testosterone
contemplative.
going when you do that.
Yeah.
Hush.
Testosterone. Okay. For Paul's son, you're oddly polite.
I'm my mother's son as well, as it happens.
Ah, right. Guess you've got some zenith in you too.
Apparently, she knew both of my parents. That was something of a relief.
The name's Ghislaine. We'll be getting. Oh, hold on. We'll be getting very well acquainted starting tomorrow, kid.
Starting tomorrow. What?
Well, okay. Nice to meet you, Ghislaine.
Yeah. Same here.
And
God, she's so cool. I like her.
she's so hot.
It is true,
Oh
though.
my god, she's so goddamn cool!
Shim saw her, and his first thought was death by snoo snoo, death by snoo snoo, death by snoo snoo.
Dude.
I feel like all you
skeleton with his
Richie,
arms
I feel like to get him to watch this show, all you had to do was show him her. And it was
Oh,
like,
I knew
"All right,
about her
I'll
long
watch it."
before I even knew she was in this show. So
Oh,
that
yeah,
says
same.
anything. I was like, who's this lady? She's cool.
Hell, even I saw her a couple times before I even knew about the show.
Wow,
Yeah,
look at that
so,
animation.
I
It's
think everyone
fantastic.
did.
I mean, fantastic.
Well, it was mostly because I saw her paired with what's her face from My Hero Academia, and I was like, oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh,
Oh
yep,
Oh
I know
my
what you're
god,
talking
that is
about.
a
Yep,
masterful pairing right there.
Yeah, I was like,
That is.
okay, I'm on board.
Okay, I might have to look up some things.
Yeah, it's okay. I already did.
Do it
Don't worry
quietly.
about it.
No.
I did when it wasn't my
Listen to
turn
that
to read.
song.
Don't worry about it.
Listen to that song.
I've been listening to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, feel sad, not horny.
Oh.
I can do
Oh.
both.
Well, he needs something to make
Oh.
him not feel sad anymore.
Using
Oh,
your,
dear.
you're gonna go home and masturbate using your own tears as lubricant. All right, it was one time, and it was Valentine's Day.
Sounds painful, actually.
Okay, shut up. Stop talking about my high school life.
Damn. You want
If
to talk,
you
bro?
haven't watched the movie Waiting,
You want to talk about it?
That's a quote from Waiting, and it's so good.
Oh,
Right.
good.
Mm-hmm. It's even funnier when you realize the guy that said that in Waiting is God in Supernatural.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
I guess if anybody can pull off the tears as lubricant.
Well, at this point, I went ahead and burned away the ropes around me with a bit of fire magic. My body was sore as hell. That wasn't too surprising, since I had been sleeping in the most comfortable of places. I stretched out my arms and legs and reveled. Oh yeah, because it does on the A. And reveled in the blissful sense of relief. Sure, I'd spend most of my previous life sitting in a camped little room, moving nothing but my fingers.
Cramped. Yeah.
Oh, and cramped
By the way,
room.
Shim, you were Spike Spiegel in the Cowboy Bebop movie. I love a woman that could kick my ass.
I am, though. I don't know if you ever seen the Street Fighter animation. It was like what was it? Luke was going up to Chun-Li and going, you in need of a me-shaped chair? And then he gets kicked in the face.
Of a me-shaped chair.
Yeah. And then he gets kicked in the fucking face.
The cushion is my face, of course.
Oh my god.
Well, be like
really
Squidward.
being on the nose there.
All right, anyway, continue.
All right, where was I?
Sure, I'd spent my life.
Oh, yeah. Sure, I'd spent most of my previous life sitting in a cramped little room, moving nothing but my fingers. But that didn't mean I wanted to spend too much time laying bound and helpless at the feet of some sadistic-looking older lady. Maybe Shem would, but, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Might have gotten a little uncomfortable after a while.
Not for me.
There were benches...
Excuse me, allergies.
Oh, yeah, you might forget though. I'm sorry, you're allergic to bullshit there or something? Okay, anyway. There were benches to the front and rear of our little box.
Rear box.
So I sat down across from Ghislaine. Windows to the left and right offered a view of the world outside. Nothing I saw outside looked remotely familiar. Okay. So this was definitely a vehicle. No shit, Sherlock. It was swaying so vigorously that I was a little worried I might get sick, and I could hear a sort of clomping coming from the direction we were moving in. It seemed reasonable to assume it was a horse-drawn carriage. Right. So I was taking a carriage ride with some macho lady for reasons totally unclear to me. Have I been kidnapped by some wonton woman weightlifter? Did she steal the cutest boy in all the land to be her sex slave? Please, have mercy. I sort of dig girls with muscle. I feel like Shem should be reading this, honestly.
What, me? I was about to slam my fingers on the ground and be like, it should have been him, or it should have been me, not him.
Oh, just wait till later. Just wait till later. You'll have another moment like that too.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, he's already watched that moment.
Yeah, I
you
already
have.
did.
Yeah, no, he's already
like,
seen that. We've all seen that.
Yeah.
Can I see your tail? Oh, sure. It should have been me.
Yeah.
Not him. It's not fair.
Tone.
Yes.
Like he was more. It seemed like he was more jealous than anything. Like you got a toned butt, man. I wish I had a toned butt.
That's not just tone. That is perfection.
That is concrete.
My gosh, my guy, Rudy gets his glow up, and you've already seen it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Understood.
Here's the thing. There is no reason for a wizard to have abs. That man is a mage who has abs. Like, you gotta understand, Rudy at the point in time in season 2, when you get like a decent chunk into season 2, has an exercise routine that he's been doing for a long time. So this boy
100 push-ups,
has
100
like
crunches, 10-kilometer run every day.
I don't know if he does a 10K. I don't know.
He probably does like
amount.
at least 10.
I don't know the exact amount, but yeah, he does sit-ups, he does push-ups, he does running. Like, the boy stay in shape. Rudy is in shape. Yeah.
I cast punch.
Whereas you have to understand
Shadow punch.
You have to understand that Rudy does this so that he can stay alive in situations, right?
Yeah, that's fair. You kind of have to.
It's a survival training. He's
like, if the worst should happen, I can get away and save lives. That's kind of where his mentality's at for that. But at the same time, he has a repertoire of magic that he can cast. Meanwhile, Ghislaine, well, she's a muscle wizard. She casts fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She casts shrink, and by that, she punches you into the ground so your spine accordions.
Okay.
I'm gonna plant me a dumbass.
You plant me a dumbass tree.
But then she'd look at you and be like, what's a tree? I don't know. She probably isn't that dumb. Anyway, I was thinking kind of Shion brain for a second there, but yeah, she's not Shion. Anyway. Please, have mercy. I sort of dig girls with muscles, yes, but I've already pledged my heart to Selphie. Well, if you must do it, be gentle with me, please. Wait. Bad thoughts.
I don't know. Those seem like
Calm
good
down,
thoughts.
dumbass.
Mm.
At times like these,
you a
a
dumbass
man's got to
tree.
stay cool. Calm down, dumbass tree. At times like these, a man's got to stay cool. Count off prime numbers in your head until you relax. Remember what that one priest guy said? The primes are solitary numbers, divisible only by one in themselves. They give me strength.
Okay. So, I just realized something, guys, that I needed to announce. I should have announced at the beginning. There is no Fan Friday this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to see Deadpool and Wolverine. You don't fuck off. I'm not. Like,
Oh yeah, that's coming out this Friday.
That is but that is
Yeah.
Fan Friday. You're gonna take a camera and take us with you, right?
Fuck no.
You want him to get banned from every theater? Well, not every, but you want to get banned from his theater?
I'm not getting banned from an
It's for
IMAX, my guy.
Deadpool.
I don't
But
give a
it's
Yeah.
for
fuck.
good Deadpool. No.
Fair.
I don't like you that much.
Yeah. Well, dude, you're going to see huge Jackman.
Sonic, we're work acquaintances at best. I'm not getting kicked out of a theater for you.
Yeah.
We're
I
not
thought
at that
for
level.
that movie.
We're
I
not
thought
that.
we were building kind of a father-son relationship here. You know,
What the
I'm the
fuck?
dumbass father.
Wow,
You're my dumbass
okay.
son.
Wait, what?
Oh, right, in the book. Sorry.
Yeah, in the
That's
book.
I was
Okay,
very confused.
If you're talking about,
I was too.
all right, fine. You want to talk about it in context of Rudy and Paul? Then absolutely hell no.
Oh, you know what? That's even more fair.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
You just made things
I just
way
sent
worse
you
for
off
you.
to school. I just
You know what?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Paul. It is your fault. If I'm Rudy talking to Paul, I'm gonna straight out give it to you like this. It is your fault. It is your fault that I don't have a mother.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, me
Oh.
playing as Paul, also being the character, but also sitting like right next to him with popcorn in my hand. Like,
Ooh.
ooh, you're going to get it now.
You gonna get it now? I was like, motherfuck you.
Shit.
Alright.
You done
Anyway.
fucked up, eh? You done fucked up, Paul Ron.
Hey, Paul Ron.
Yeah.
All right.
PP
so
Ron.
it's as simple
eye
as this.
of Paul
It's as simple
Ron.
as this, man. It's as simple as this. Some stuff is going down in the show behind the scenes that will come to the forefront very soon. I am saying some stuff, but I'm specifically not trying to spoil stuff. I'm just making angry rants right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that being said, Shim, I can't wait till next week when we can talk to you in more in depth with stuff. Trust me, when you get to 16 to 17, you're going to be like, okay, you're going to have conversations with people because the show gets real. And I want to know what you think once you finish 16 and 17. Who do you think is in the right? Because it literally divided the internet. Is Rudy right or is Paul right? You can understand where they're both coming from, but who's actually right? My view is they're both wrong. But, you know, it is. It
That's
is
fair.
what it is. Yeah. There's
We'll have
going
to
to
get
be
to
an
that point
interesting.
before my own
There's.
opinion,
I
so-
can't wait.
But I
want
get
to
it.
have that discussion with you. Yeah, it's
Okay.
so good. Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. So yeah, no
Cannot
Mushoku
wait.
Tensei, no Fan Friday because I'm going to watch a good movie. All right,
Yeah.
moving on.
We'll talk about the movie when he gets back.
3,
Hopefully
5.
it's good.
No, we won't. Unless you've watched it, I'm not talking about it with you.
Or free like thoughts, like what you're rating or whatever. But and we'll. Whatever. Anyway. 3, 5, 11, 13. Can't remember. Damn it.
It's because titties.
Okay, screw the.
Wait.
Let me just think of Sophie's titties or something. She don't even have them. Damn it. Okay. Screw the prime numbers.
It's hard to think of Sylphie's titties when you're staring at Ghislaine's.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Screw the prime numbers. Just calm down, dude. Think through this calmly. You need to figure out what's going on here. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Deep breasts.
No! Damn it!
That's right. Deep breasts, Shin. Deep breasts.
Focusing.
Focus. You're not focusing on the right thing here, Shem.
Focusing.
Deep and wide, deep and wide. I love when her titties are deep and wide.
Oh,
Damn
no.
it, Shem. This isn't High School DxD, all right? Focus.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair.
You're right. It's not High School DxD because these are way better. They're attached to a very muscular feminine frame.
Mm-hmm.
Death.
I mean, I like
snooze
both,
it.
all right? I'll just say that.
I don't.
Anyway,
I've never watched High School DxD.
It's.
I have.
It's not for everybody.
It's exactly what you think.
It's
Cool.
There is a good
some
story there,
decent
though.
story to it, but
It's not Mushoku Tensei. I'll tell
The
you
plot
that.
thickens.
No, I mean.
A lot thickens with that.
The
show.
plot thickens, and so does what's in my hand.
Well, plus they made
Stuff
way
does
too many
get
seasons
hard.
of that.
Hmm?
Yeah. I only watched a little bit, and then I was like, nah.
No, what'd you say, Shim? Because I didn't.
I said they made way too many seasons of it.
Mm.
I think it's at like over 5 or something.
No, it's
I was
got
like,
4.
4? Okay.
And to be fair, the second half of 3, they actually had to backtrack on a little
Guys,
bit.
we only have
Okay,
11% of the book to go through. Let's see if we can finish it.
Mm.
All right, I think it's your line, Richie.
Whew, ah.
Or it's Attaboy!
Hoo-ha!
Now then, let's piece this together as best we can.
That fits with the scene because, like, I can totally
I
see
know.
Al Pacino. Hoo-ha! That's a great ass!
Thanks.
That's why I followed up with Attaboy.
That would probably be her response, honestly.
Okay. First of all, Paul had attacked me for no apparent reason and knocked me senseless. And when I woke up, I found myself in a carriage, bound hand and foot. Presumably, he knocked me out for some specific reason and then tossed me in here. The only person in said cage was a macho lady who said we'd be getting acquainted starting tomorrow. Come to think of it, Paul also said something strange right before he attacked me. Something like, stop seeing Sylphie. Or maybe, Sylphie's too good for the likes of you. Or maybe, Sylphie's mine now, kiddo. Bag pedo? Does this lust know no bounds? Wait. I think I just made those last 2 up. I think I just made those last 2. It was hard to think straight when it was hard to think. It's hard to talk straight too where Sylphie was concerned. It was also hard to think straight where Sylphie was concerned. Damn it! I tried to pick it up and I couldn't fucking do it. Oh well.
God damn it!
I got completely derailed in no time at all. Damn
I don't
it.
even know where you are anymore. I'm trying to find on the page. Like, I think we're kind of.
What do you mean? Okay, 359.
I don't know where that is.
232 out of 266.
That's not how I'm looking at it. I'm at 250.
Oh, okay.
2554.
I mean,
28,
it was your ho-ha.
I see.
Hoo-ha, yeah.
Yeah.
Hoo-ha.
Yeah.
And
Past
then
that.
The only other person in the carriage was a macho lady who said we'd be getting acquainted starting tomorrow, come to think of it. So
yeah, it'll be your next
like
line,
right
basically.
around there.
something like, stop seeing Sylphie! Or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, that
Sylphie's
exact
after
spot.
that-
the likes of you. Or maybe Sylphie's mine now, kiddo.
Yeah, you want to keep going until you're like, miss? I still gotta read a little bit, but yeah, we're basically right there.
Scumbag pedo. Does this lust know no bounds? Wait. I must have made up those last 2, huh?
Yep.
Okay. And then it was hard to think. There. Okay, it's on the next page.
Yeah, there we go. It was hard to think straight where Sylphie was concerned.
Think
I
gay.
got
It
completely
works best.
derailed in no time at all. Damn it! This is
I
all
second
Paul's
this.
fault.
Just think a little gay. You'll be fine.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a little gay.
There's nothing wrong with a little gay. Look,
It's okay to be gay. Let's rejoice with the boys. Da-na-na-na-na.
Also, here's the thing. It doesn't matter whether you're gay or not. You still like titties. Nature's pillows are still good.
We all
can appreciate. Like, is your somebody said that the greatest thing in the world is forgiveness, and I was like, nah, bro. I watched that old Three Musketeers movie. There is nothing better than a soft, juicy, plump titty.
You know what? Forgiveness and them could work hand in hand, because when you make up, you go for the hug, and you got them to work with.
I love it so much because like a plump nipple, and I'm like, God damn it, dude. This little French whore. I fucking love him. He's so right, though. I was like, forgiveness is nice, but titties. Titties.
Mm.
I want to get slapping you. God damn it. Ravenclaw. I just looked over and started reading chat. I should not have done that. All right. Continuing on with hard gay thoughts.
Damn it! This is all Paul's fault. Well, I guess I'll just have to ask.
Titties are pretty amazing. Agreed.
Very much. Very much amazing.
Gotta ask Elaine.
You can call me Ghislaine.
Oh, okay. In that case, you can call me Ruru.
Sure thing, Ruru.
Right. So the woman clearly didn't know what a joke was. Yep. No, not at all. No. Oh, no, I didn't actually read that sentence. That was me actually. Fuck, I didn't.
Well, it sounded like
it was the exact.
It sounded like dialogue to you.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I was just like, right. So this woman clearly. Yeah.
I mean, just continue
for
now.
Sure. Right. So the woman clearly didn't know a joke when she heard one. Miss Ghislaine, did my father tell you what's going on here?
Just Ghislaine, kid. No miss required.
I'll make a miss out of you.
Oh.
Yeah. As she spoke, Ghislaine reached into her jacket to retrieve a letter and handed it over to me. The front of it was completely blank.
That's for you.
Shem, this is absolutely your fault.
Why?
Let's get down to business to caress those buns.
I mean, I wish.
Yeah, right. So, okay.
I'm sorry, when it makes a clank, it's like, oh,
when you
good.
can bounce a quarter off of it.
It's as hard as stone.
Okay.
That's for you, from Paul. Read it out loud, will you?
Oh, I already read that part, but I thought we'd already read that part. Sorry.
No, you got the front of it was completely blank.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not so good with
That's
writing.
for you.
Gotcha.
That's okay. Yeah. From Paul. Read it out loud, will you? I'm not so good with writing.
Okay.
Opening up the sloppily folded piece of paper, I began to read. To my dear son, Rudius, if you're reading this letter, it means that I am no longer in this world.
Wait, what?
Ghislaine shouted, jumping to her feet.
Yeah.
Wait. Good thing this carriage had a high ceiling.
Please sit down, Ghislaine. There's more.
Right.
Just like that, she sat right back down. Sorry, just kidding. I always wanted to try that one out on somebody. So anyway, I knocked you down into the dirt, tied you up, and tossed you into a carriage like a bandit kidnapping a princess. I expect you're wondering what the hell's going on, hey? Ideally, that ball of muscle in there with you would just explain everything. But sadly, her brain's mutated into an extra bicep some time ago, so I doubt that's gonna work. So I don't think that's gonna work.
What was that? Oh, she shouted that. What was that?
Ghislaine shouted, jumping to her feet again.
Please sit down, Ghislaine. The next part's nothing but compliments.
Right.
Right back down she went. Okay, moving on.
It when she goes up and down.
Like, I'm waiting for the point where she's like, I'm gonna murder the messenger. She starts drawing her sword.
Oh, trust me, there's a lot of people from Paul's old. There's a lot of people from Paul's old adventuring team that want to beat the shit out of Paul.
Oh yeah. And he just added another one to the list.
All right.
Okay. That woman's a sword king. When it comes to the blade, you won't find a better teacher this side of the sword sanctum. Trust your old man on this one. She's really damn good. I never once got the upper hand on her, except from bed. Dad, please. Oh. I mean, if you want to tag in for these ones, that's fine.
Dad, please, could you not have just left that last part out?
Elaine didn't exactly look displeased, though. The old man was certainly popular with the ladies. Anyway, I was evidently traveling with one hell of a fighter. Now then, let's move on to your job. You're going to be tutoring a young lady in Roa. I realized I said the end too like that. In Roa, the biggest city in the Fitoa region. I'm like, what the fuck? I've heard these words. Damn it. It's
Literally,
too long.
They have been said to you.
It's been too long.
Oh, I thought you were about to say that the word was too long. I was like, fuck no, it isn't.
No, it's been too long since I've heard the word. I'm like, oh god, what is it called again?
My arch nemesis, more than 2 letters.
My names.
Names.
Not a name. The biggest city in the Fitoa region?
Fitoa. But guys, if you really want to hear some fun stuff, make sure to come by when we do the solo leveling streams and just listen as Sonic tries to pronounce Korean names. It's glorious.
He does his best.
You will try.
You know what? As long as I'm credited in it, I'm okay with you making a clip, like a montage video of me fucking up Korean names and putting it on YouTube.
Oh my god, that's going to be like the video. Pregante.
You sweet summer child. You think it's just going to be limited to names? Bro, there are so many words.
Oh no, names are like the big thing, but yeah.
If we did the Sonic Super Cunt.
I'm sorry?
If we did the Sonic Supercut, it would literally be about an hour in length just from all the gaps.
Yeah, but it'd be funny and it'd get so many views.
It'd get repetitive.
I mean, you do like the best ones.
The greatest hits compilation.
Sonic's greatest hits and supercuts.
Sonic's greatest what the fuck moments.
Sonic's greatest hits and falls and hits.
Can this grown man possibly read at a light level isekai?
Can I read like a 5th grader?
Are you?
The answer may surprise you.
Are you more well read than a 5th grader? The answer is no.
Am I more read? God, how do we make that to a song that I have to sing?
No.
God, I don't even know where we're at anymore. Hold on.
No.
No, I'm in the book here.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
It's a Sword King? Oh, no. Okay, wait.
No, I have to read the letters here. Like Roa and the biggest city in the Fitoa region. Fitoa region, yep.
Yeah.
The biggest city in the Fitoa region. Teach her reading, writing, math, and some basic magic, all right? The girl's a spoiled, violent brat who was asked to leave her school, and she's already chased off a number of other tutors. But I've got faith in you, kiddo. I'm sure you'll manage somehow. Bye, son!
Wow, very helpful, Paul. You really don't look spoiled, Gillian.
I'm not the young lady in question.
Right, of course.
Okay, let's keep moving. That lump of muscle with you works for the young lady's family as a bodyguard and swordsmanship. Oh, and swordsmanship instructor. I thought for some reason that was the end of the sentence. In exchange for training you in the sword, she wants you to teach her reading, writing, and arithmetic as well. I know it's a ridiculous request coming from a woman with a bicep brain, but try not to laugh out loud. She's probably serious.
That son of a...
I mean...
Was I seeing...
Dude. All right. At this point in time, Paul needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, calling Ghislaine a bicep brain when you're basically just a penis brain, my guy.
A literal dickhead.
He's
You're
thinking with the
literally
wrong
a
brain.
Yeah.
No.
Yep,
He
there you
doesn't
go.
have another. He doesn't have another brain. He's just a dickhead.
Yep. Look, the gods made up when they were making him. They put the dick brain in his real brain, and then they still gave him the regular dick brain, so he has no choice.
He's double dicked.
Yeah.
Been dicked down in Dallas.
Huh, no wonder he's so popular with the ladies.
You double dicked the chip!
Dude, you double dicked? What the fuck?
What the fuck, man? Alright, anyway.
You don't do that.
Shark penis. Right.
It's not cool.
Come to save the day.
Oh no. We're never getting through this.
Okay.
We have 30 minutes to get 10% of the way through. It's just not happening.
It's not my fault this time.
Yes, it is.
It very
No,
much
it's
is.
not.
Shim would have been finished.
Oh, Shem's not here. He got caught in that accident because you weren't watching him.
I was like, huh?
Shim was right
Shit.
there. I mean,
It's okay. It's okay.
It's-
I still hear him
He's
too.
a baby in a stroller, and
I'm
Richie had to watch it for 5
I'm
minutes.
so about to grab the chancla. Like, get the fuck.
It's like I can still
Alright.
hear his voice.
Was I seeing things, or was that a vein throbbing on Ghislaine's forehead? The main purpose of this letter was to explain the situation to me, but Paul's secondary goal was clearly to piss her off. It made me kind of curious about the nature of their relationship.
This is Paul.
Oh, sorry. She won't be a quick learner, I'm sure, but it's not such a bad deal. You won't have to pay for your lessons, at least. My lessons, huh? Right. I guess she was my new instructor from now on. Paul's swordsmanship was mostly instinct-based. Maybe he felt I needed a better teacher at this point. Or maybe he just got sick of watching me not improve at all. I think you could have stuck it out a little longer, man.
How much would it usually cost to learn that sword? Learn the sword from you, Ghislaine?
2 gold assur in coins per month.
Say what? I was pretty sure that Roxy had earned 5 silver coins a month back when she was tutoring me. This lady charged about 4 times more. This was really a pretty solid deal then. A normal person in Asura could get by on about 2 silver coins a month. For the next 5 years, you'll be staying at the young lady's house to teach her. 5 whole years. You got that? You don't get to come back until then. And no writing letters either. You don't get to come back home until then. And no writing letters either. Sylphie's never going to learn how to stand on her own 2 feet if you keep hanging around the village. And you were growing increasingly relying on her as well.
Reliant.
That's why I made the call. What?
Increasingly
Reliant?
reliant, not relying.
And you are growing increasingly reliant on her as well. That's why I made the call to separate the 2 of you.
Wait, what?
Hold on a second. What? Are you serious? I can't see Sylphie for 5 whole years? I can't even write her letters?
What's the matter, Ruru? You break up with a girlfriend?
Ghislaine asked, apparently amused by the look of despair on my face.
No, my childish bully of a father broke us up by force.
I haven't even had a chance to say goodbye. Damn it,
Damn.
Paul!
Oh.
You'll pay for this!
Hang in there, Ruru. It'll be okay. What?
I think I'd just rather you call me Rudius, actually.
All right, then.
When I really thought about it, though, Paul had a point. At the rate things were going, Sylphie might have turned to a childhood friend character from a particular shitty visual novel. You know, the kind that sticks to the protagonist constantly, revolving around him like a satellite, and never develops a personality of her own. In the real world, a girl like that would make her own friends and learn about new things at school. But thanks to her hair, Sylphie was always going to have a tough time with that. That was a real chance.
There was a
There was
real
a real, yeah, there was a real chance she would have stayed glued to my side for years and years. I wouldn't really have minded. The adults involved felt differently. This made sense. This made sense. Paul had made the right call this time. For once.
No.
Hmm.
No, this is the wrong
For
call
one,
too.
I mean, he's, well, it's not, it's the opposite of he's out of line, but he's right.
You don't have the full context. This was 100% the wrong call.
Interesting.
Yep.
As for your compensation, you'll be paid 2 silver
Osserin.
Nope. No, damn it, I was right. Osserin coins a month. That's below the going rate for a live-in tutor, but it's more than enough for a child's allowance. When you have a little spare time, try to head out into the city and get a feel for spending money. A little practice is the best way to make sure you can use your cash effectively when you really need to. Then again, maybe that won't even be an issue for a kid as gifted as you. Just don't go buying any women, though. You got that?
Seriously, man?
Seriously? Oh.
You could just leave that part out.
What? Was he trying some sort of reverse psychology here? Like, don't hit up any brothels, son. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Additionally, once you've completed 5 years of constant service and finished providing the young lady with consistent service and finished providing the young lady with a solid education in all respects, your excuse me, your contract entitles you to a special reward, a payment covering the cost of tuition for 2 people at the University of Magic. I see. In other words, once I did my time as a tutor, Paul was going to let me do whatever I wanted, just as he promised.
Not whatever I wanted, just let me do what I wanted.
Just trying to do what I wanted.
Your eyes are going too fast through this.
Yeah, it's okay. You can slow down a bit.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
slow down.
you got this.
Yeah, I think it's just naturally how I do it.
It's fine. You got this.
Of course, there's no guarantee Sylphie will want to tag along with you 5 years from now, and you might lose interest in her yourself. But in any case, I'll make sure to explain the situation perfectly to her.
Not sure I trust you to do that one, Daddy, dearest.
I hope the years you spend in this new environment will teach you many things, allowing you to develop your talents even further. Sincerely, your noble, wise, and brilliant father, Paul.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
those are
All
my
right.
real unbidden feelings for Paul. Go fuck yourself.
I feel like that's justified.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Brilliant, my ass. Your whole plan was just to beat me into submission.
Yeah, damn right, you little shit.
Fuck you.
Finally getting you out of the house for once.
I've been out of the house.
I wanted you more out of the house. Anyway, still, I had to admit
Yeah.
Still, I had to admit his overall line of thinking was pretty solid. This was for the best at the time. For both Sylphie and me. She might go back to being a loner again, but unless she learned to face her own problems, she was never really going to grow as a person.
To be fair,
Paul
this
really
is also Rudy's fault because he's not thinking about everything else. He's only thinking about his situation with Sylvie and not thinking about his relationship with other people.
Paul really loves you, doesn't he?
That's
Elaine said.
Yeah.
1 second.
But okay, so with all of the context that you have now, Moon, this hurts a lot more than it initially did, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't hit me quite as hard yet, but I feel like I'm gonna get there probably in a
Oh,
week,
don't worry.
maybe.
When you get to the other half of the second season, you'll understand.
I imagine I'm probably gonna get to where you guys are at either the end of this week or next week.
Well,
But
by
we'll
next
see.
week, you'll probably have it.
Yep. I couldn't help smiling a little at that one.
Let's see.
He used to be kind of distant.
No,
the
I know
line?
where we're at. It's just trying to find out.
Oh.
Okay, so he's talking to Ghislaine because it didn't look
Mhm.
like this was Rudy for a second.
Mm.
He used to be kind of distant, but he started really getting into the whole fatherhood thing. Anyway, seems like he's pretty fond of you as well, Ghislaine.
Why'd you say that?
Proceeded to read the letter's final line out loud.
So once again, this is why I'm saying it's not just Rudy. Like, there's a lot of people around him that are way worse. P.S. Feel free to make a move on the young lady as long as it's consensual, but that ball of muscle is already mine, so hands off. What the fuck, Rudy? What are you saying? What the fuck, Paul? What are you saying to your 7-year-old child?
Yeah, I was like, these are not the
Different
words
time,
of
different place,
a
apparently.
good. Well,
Different
even
rules.
Yep.
well,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. No.
Oh, I'm saying yeah. I was like, yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but yeah, no, this
Anyway.
bad.
Ghislaine said.
Send that letter on to Zenith for me, will you?
Sounds like a plan.
Just like that, I found myself traveling to the Citadel of Roa, the largest settlement in the Fitoa region.
Fitoa. Just
Fitoa region.
Fitoa.
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 Fitoa. That almost sounds like a
Fitoa.
Fitoa.
It's
Wow.
spit.
Hit him with the
Fitoa.
fatua and spit on
Fatua.
that thing.
God damn it.
I had some mixed feelings about that, of course, but it was really for the best. I couldn't just stay with Sylphie,
Okay.
so this was something that needed to happen. I definitely wasn't bitter at all about it. Nope.
Other way around.
I definitely wasn't bitter about it at all. Nope.
There you go. Man, I wish I could go see her once a year or so at least.
Well, maybe I'd manage to convince myself of that at some point. I just wasn't quite there yet.
Okay. Now that we've made it through this, let's talk real quick. Real talk.
Let's get
now.
down to
Hush.
actual business.
No, stop. Okay. So, keep in mind, this is where Paul fucked up. Okay? 5 years away from, like, both of them are too focused on Sylphie. Literally 5 years away from his mom, 5 years away from his sisters. His sisters aren't old enough to know him now. So, if he just bumps into them at some point in time, literally, he's just a stranger to his own siblings. This
Paul
is
is
messed
a piece
up.
Of poo-poo parent.
Yeah, Paul
that's
is
right.
Paul is a piece of crap. Also, I'm pretty sure he didn't get laid that night because both Zenith and freaking the maid.
Lilia?
Yeah, Lilia, they're both mad at him for that. Yeah. Anyway.
Damn, that was close. My son laid unconscious on the ground before my filthy, mud-caked shoes. Since this would be my last day teaching him the sword, I decided to put the fear of God in him before I knocked him out. Okay, that's not fair. The pacing on that one was weird.
Not only that, but also just like the way that the page was laid out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah.
It's like knocked like there's supposed to be a period there, and then it just on the next line, it's not even capitalized, like him out.
Yeah. Fair.
I am going to knock him out, or some bullshit.
Jesus.
I didn't say it was a good joke.
Get on with it already.
But the kid actually snapped off a bunch of spells in the instant I made my move. It wasn't just a bunch of panicked attacks either. He was mainly trying to slow me down. and every single time he cast something, it was a different spell. That's my son for you, all right. Kid's got a knack for battle. Sure, the fight had only lasted a few seconds, but it was a complete surprise attack, and I still needed 3 steps to take him down. That last one had been especially dangerous. If I hesitated even slightly, he would have snared both my legs and taken me out in no time. 3 steps was just too many when you're fighting a magician. If he had been in a group, one of his allies would have stepped in to protect him by the time I'd taken my second stride. And if there's even been yep, and if there'd been just a bit more distance between us, I might have needed 4 steps.
Okay, you're getting a little too early there. And if there'd been just a bit more distance between us instead of if there'd been just a bit more distance.
And if there'd been just a bit
There you
more
go.
distance between us. Okay.
Yep.
And if
See?
there'd been just a bit more distance between us, I might have needed 4 steps. For all intents and purposes, the kid's got the best of me.
The kid got
You
the
could
best of me.
The kid got the best of me.
Yeah, there's no S.
Yeah,
there's
the
no
kid.
S. You go, the
kid
kid's
got
got
the
the
best
best
of
of me. And I'm like, bro, it was just one kid he was
Oh.
attacking.
You could probably toss him into a party of adventurers right now. He'd more than pull his own weight in a labyrinth. Guess you'd expect no less from the prodigy who gave a water saint tier magician an inferiority complex. The boy was downright terrifying, but for some reason, that made me happy. Up until now, I'd been jealous of anyone more talented than me. But where my son was concerned, all I felt was pride. Okay, This isn't the time to be talking to myself. Let's get this done before laws make it over. Laws make it over here.
Makes
I quickly proceeded to
laws
tie up my son.
makes it over here.
Laws makes it over here. It's weird because there's the S's and like it threw me off.
Laws
Let's
is
get
the
this
guy's
done before
name.
laws makes it over here.
Yeah.
I quickly proceeded to tie up my son. The carriage had arrived by the time I finished. So I picked him up and prepared here to toss him into it. Of course, Laws picked that moment up to show with
Pick that
Laws
moment to
picked that
show
moment
up.
to show up with yeah. Of course, Laws picked that moment to show off with Sylphie in tow.
By the way, hey Moon, I'm just gonna pick this moment up if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay. Just gonna grab a moment in time. Just pick it up. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is also you, Moon.
Oh, my bad.
Yep. This is Sylphie.
Rudy.
By the way, this is stuff we did not get in the anime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I only just barely heard about this in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing her playmate bound hand and foot, the girl immediately fired off an intermediate tiered offensive spell at me without so much as an incantation. I warded off easily enough, but on top of the silent spellcasting, the attack's power and speed were both impressive. She could easily have killed a normal person. Damn it, Rudius! Don't go teaching her crap!
That crap.
After that crap. Don't go teaching her that crap. After handing Ghislaine my letter, I unceremoniously dumped Rudius in the carriage and let the coachman know he was good to go. Glancing over, I saw Laws crouched next to Sylphie, speaking to her firmly but quietly. Yeah, that's the way. It's the parent's job to teach her kid what's what. Laws had allowed Rudius to take over many of his duties, but now he'd get the chance to reclaim his rightful role. Exhausting, or no, exhaling. Sorry, exhaling quite quietly. I watched the little family conversation from a distance.
Conference.
After a moment, the conference from a
Sorry.
distance.
Yeah.
After a moment, the wind carried Sophie's voice over to me. Sophie's voice.
No, Yep.
No, I'll get strong enough to help Rudy.
That girl really adores you, son of mine. At this point, my 2 wives emerged from the house. I told them to stay inside if they wanted to watch, mostly for their own safety. But I suppose they wanted to see the boy off at least. At least.
Oh shit.
I think the first is Zenith.
Yeah, it is
second
Zenith, and then it's
yeah.
Lilith.
Okay.
Lilia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, my sweet little Rudy's leaving me.
Be brave, madam. This is a trial we must endure.
I know, Lilia, I know. Oh, Rudius. My little son is riding off. He's left his poor mother all alone. Woe is me.
You're not alone, madam. He's not your only child.
You're right, of course. He has 2 little sisters now.
2? Oh, madam.
Of course, Lilia. I love your child as much as mine. As much as I love you.
Oh, madam. I feel just the same.
For some reason, Zenith and Lilia acted out a weirdly theatrical scene as the carriage set off down the road. I suppose they weren't really too worried about Rudius. The kid had a solid head on his shoulders after all. In any case, those 2 sure do get along these days. Wish they'd been that friendly with Daddy too. Or at least stop ganging up on me.
Okay, once again, Paul, you're a real piece of shit.
Mhm.
The thing that annoys me the most is they never got to say goodbye. So everything that's about to happen, that the 2 of you are going to experience when you get to the back half of season 2, know that this is all Paul's fault. So when he straight up says, I'm a shit father, no, it's real. He's probably thought about this. He's probably had this thought. What did I do to my 7-year-old son and separate him from his family without even letting him say goodbye? And then he gets mad.
He even says
Then
it
he
with
gets
this
mad
line, this next
because
line.
Rudy isn't thinking about his family. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's your fault. You sent him off without so much as a goodbye. As far as he's concerned, as far as he could be concerned, everybody in Rudy's family could be strangers at this point. You know?
I mean, his 2 little sisters kind of do see
You
him at that
broke
first.
off the connection that he had with his family before it could even be formed with some, and how it had just barely started getting formed. So
Nipped it in the
no,
bud.
this is 100% everything that's gonna happen. Not all of the stuff that happens, but in regards to the way Rudy is with his family and everything, is 100% Paul's fault. When Rudy made that request about a job, he didn't think this was what was gonna happen.
And why would he?
Yeah. And Paul's is like, oh, well, my kid's got a good head on his shoulders. He'll be fine. Fuck you.
He's good enough head on his shoulders to outsmart you with a battle of words.
And I will say this. A lot of the restraint that Rudy showed around Sylphie that he does not show around Roxy or around Eris is still 100% Paul's fault. Because he could have learned how better to behave around women from his mother.
Sad.
Yeah, sorry. But this is important to me. It does need a bit of a rant. I'm trying to dance around very important things that haven't happened for you guys yet. So it's weird being on the other end of that, huh, Moon? Where you know something and you know that I know it, and I'm sitting here trying not to say it. I'm sitting here trying not to say it, and you know how much I'm walking on eggshells. So when you're like, you spoiled things for me, and I was like, I didn't spoil anything important.
No,
not a thing. I didn't tell you a single thing about what happened to Ace. I haven't told you anything about what happens to Sabo. Like, bruh, I have walked on eggshells around you guys. You're like, you spoil stuff, and I'm like, no, I really don't. There's huge stuff in Mushoku Tensei that I haven't even mentioned that would just be like game-changing shit. And like, guys, I'm barely spoiling anything at all.
I'm barely in my first form.
Yeah, exactly. Like, guys, I'm walking on eggshells here, so yeah, we're good.
Mm.
All right. Oh, now you have that
actually-
thought. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Still, yeah.
Is that Paul?
That's
saying
Paul.
that, or-
Yeah, all
That's
of this
Paul.
is Paul.
Okay, just making sure. Still, I guess Rudy won't be around to watch the little ones grow up, huh? I knew he'd been planning to become the best big
You
brother
nude?
ever.
You nude?
I like nudes.
I knew
Wait.
he'd been planning to become the best big brother ever, but things weren't gonna work out that way. Tough luck, kid. Daddy's gonna get this little. Daddy's gonna get all his little daughter's love.
Fuck you.
Wait a
Yeah,
second.
fuck Paul. Fuck Paul.
Mm. Mhm.
I can say that
Wait a
with
second, though.
I can say that with my whole heart and my soul. Fuck Paul.
Put on a shirt.
On a shirt.
Yeah.
I would put it on a shirt.
Yeah.
But so many people named Paul would be like, "But what did I do though?"
Well, that's when
Or
you
be
put
like-
fuck Paul Grey Rat.
Yeah, there you go. Put the full
Fuck
name.
Paul Grey Rat.
'Cause
Yeah,
if you just
no,
put
that's fair.
Paul, then I'd be like, what's wrong with the guy from Tekken?
I
He's
don't
got a cool
know, man.
haircut.
I don't know.
Dude,
Fuck
what's
Logan Paul.
what do you got against Paul, man?
Fuck Logan.
Yeah, he's got a
I
cool
mean-
haircut.
Fuck
Fuck
everyone named Paul, basically.
No, fuck Logan Paul. Just in particular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay,
mean, yeah.
fair. Fair.
It's Logan Paul, and it's just both Paul Greyrat and Logan Paul on the
also
same
fuck
shirt.
the book of Paul. You know.
Oh. Is that a
Just-
thing?
Yeah, the book
I don't know.
of
That
Paul
one's
is
a
an
bit more of
actual
a
thing.
stretch.
Oh.
I'm just saying the Bible needs to be in the fiction section with all the other
So,
make believe titles.
mm. Damn.
I'm just saying every religion is a fairy tale.
Yohee.
Wait a second, though. Rudius was about to start special accelerated training under a Sword King. 5 years from now, he would be 12. Much bigger and stronger than he was now. If we had another anything goes scrap when he came back, was I even gonna stand a chance? Oh, man. Oh, man! My parental dignity was on the line.
You don't have any parental dignity.
Oh, and if he might have a little bit, but it goes out the window later down the road.
No, it's gone. It's done. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
When you didn't even let his mother say goodbye to him, or let him say goodbye to his sisters, all the dignity
Oh,
went
you
out
know
the
what?
wall.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, all that dignity went away.
Mm-hmm.
Paul is just a rat bastard piece of shit.
Yep.
Mm.
A gray rat
Zenith
bastard piece
here?
of shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Paul Grey Rat is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Paul Grey Rat is a piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put a turd on his head.
Now,
Ooh.
now I'm just gonna be holding a fucking sign that says Rudy did nothing wrong.
Rudius did nothing wrong.
It was all Paul's fault.
Blame the parents, or at least the A parent, not
Where
the
were
mother.
parents
I was
at?
gonna say. Mm,
One parent was locked in the house. The other one literally beat him with a sword.
All right,
I
I'm just
wouldn't
saying
want
when
to steal a
Paul
sword.
gets
Yeah.
later when Paul gets mad at Rudy because he thinks differently than Paul does, and it takes like he's like, why don't you understand this? It's like, because it's your fault, bro.
man.
Rudy didn't grow up having his family around him. He missed so many years that he wasn't around his family. So no, he doesn't think of his family. He doesn't consider his family because they're fucking strangers.
The biggest victim of all this is probably Rudy's mom, or
Mhm.
Zenith. Because like it's like not only
at
did
least
the
both
man
of them.
that she trusts and had a kid with cheated on her with their own maid. Now your kids are estranged from each other.
Not
Then
even
it's
just
like,
the maid,
oh,
arguably her
how
best
sad.
friend.
My guy,
There's
you
more,
don't
I'm
even
sure.
you don't even understand how much you just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, it just makes me sad
It
because
is
I know
sad.
that there's families out here that are like suffering from the same thing because the
Yeah.
dad couldn't keep it in the pants and he's a piece of shit.
Well,
So
not just because he couldn't keep it in the pants, but like the way
well,
that
and
he
he's a piece of
forced
shit
Rudy-
and he's barricading. Yeah,
yeah.
forcefully isolating your siblings from each other
Yeah.
so that they're estranged from each other and they don't even know each other as
And then
people.
you get mad at him later when he doesn't have the same familial bonds that you expect him to have.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
that's garbage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go for it. No, go for
No,
it.
fine.
Go for it.
Let's meet dinner if anything.
Oh, Shim.
I just finished it actually. So.
It's past 10 o'clock. Shim's turn. Because we want to
Oh,
finish
okay.
this volume.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Fuck you.
Oh,
We got to
okay.
finish the volume.
That's
All right,
fair.
here we
you
go.
interrupted me. Go for it.
Zenith, dear. Is that where we are, right?
Oh, it's still
think
my
so.
character though.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awkward.
Yeah, that's you.
Zenith, dear, Ilya or Lilia. Now that Rudy's left us, I think I'll have to start training a bit as well.
Zenith glanced at me with a disinterested expression. Lilia leaned over the stage, whisper ear. Did it really take a near loss to make him realize that the young master might soon surpass him? I think this is Zenith.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably.
Honestly, he's always like this. Never puts a bit of effort in until someone nearly embarrasses him.
Apparently, I was already somewhat lacking in the paternal dignity department. That was gone a while ago. Ah, well. What's dignity good for, anyway? My old man was a walking lump of pride and nobility, and I was never exactly fond of him. I wanted to be a friendly, lovable kind of father, not a dignified one. So, for now, I just keep pretending to be a good-for-nothing guy with a weakness for the ladies. Until my 3 kids were all grown up, at least. At this point, I glanced at Zenith out the corner of my eye. Damn, that's a nice body. You never know, she's already had 2 kids. Maybe we could try for a 4 or 5. That's one way to earn myself an extension, I guess. Well, there was enough time to think about that later. Thoughts ran through my mind as Rudius's carriage rumbled off down the road. Rudius, believe me, this isn't how I wanted to do this either. I don't think he would have agreed to be my plan, or I don't think he would have agreed to my plan, but I'm not sure I could have convinced you in an argument. Still, as your father, I couldn't just do nothing. I'm basically passing you off to someone else for now, but I think that's how it was meant, or it has to be. I know I didn't give you any choice, but I'm sure a clever kid like you will understand. The experiences you're going to have out there wouldn't have been possible in this village. Even if you don't understand my reasons, dealing with the challenges in front of you will make you stronger in the end. So resent me all you like, resent me, and resent yourself for letting me do this. I grew up under my old man's thumb myself, you know? Ended up just running away, rather than ever facing up to him. I do regret that to some degree, and I wish I'd done some things differently. I don't want you to feel that way, of course. But you know, running away like that did make me stronger. I'm not sure if I'm stronger than my dad was, but I found women I loved, protected the things I cared about, and grew tough enough to put the screws on my own kid. You want to fight back? Fine by me. Have at it. Come back stronger, kid. Strong enough to stand up to your tyrant of a dad.
All right.
Extra chapter. Yeah.
Another thing that did not get added to the anime.
The mother of the Grey Rat family. Should I read this one, or should
Yes.
should Moon do this one? Okay. My name is Zenith Greyrat. I was born in the holy country of Millis, a land noted for its long history, great beauty, and rigid moral code. By birth, I was a member of the nobility, the second daughter of a count. Like most young ladies raised in good families, I was a sheltered child. I thought the little world I knew was all there was. I was clueless and naive. But I was also a good child, if I do say so myself. I never disobeyed my parents. My grades in school were excellent. I obeyed the tenets of the Millis Church, and I learned to play the role expected of me in society gatherings. Some people even called me the perfect picture of a Millis lady. My parents were rather proud of me, I'm sure. Had things continued as they were, I suppose I would have been introduced at some party to a man my parents chose for me. Probably the first son of some marquis, well-mannered but proud, with absolute respect for the dictates of the Millis Church. I would have married this moral paragon, given birth to his children, and seen my name go down in the register of Millis nobility as a perfectly respectable Machianess, right? And that's how you say that.
Believe
As
so?
a woman...
I
Oh,
said I
sorry.
believe so.
Yeah, Machianess, yeah. As a woman of the aristocracy, that was the road in front of me. But, of course, I didn't end up following it. My life changed forever on my 15th birthday, the day I came of age. I had a terrible fight with my parents. For the first time in my life, I refused to do what they've told me, and I ran away from home. I'd gotten thoroughly sick of letting them control every moment of my life. My little sister Therese had always been a free spirit, and I think I was a little jealous of her as well. These factors, along with many smaller ones, combined to push me off the path I had been following. It's not easy for a fallen aristocrat to find a new road through life, but fortunately I'd learned healing magic in an academy for noble girls, and I'd even gotten proficient at intermediate spells. Milis was a country where healing and protection magic flourished, but it was still unusual to progress beyond the rank of beginner in either. Reaching the intermediate tier opened up the possibility of working in the Milis Church's hospitals. It was an achievement that earned me much admiration in our school. As a result, I was convinced I could make it on my own anywhere I went. I really was hopelessly naive. A dishonest group of people spotted me almost immediately as I awkwardly tried to navigate the unfamiliar process of taking a room at an inn. Claiming they'd been looking for a healer, they pulled me into their party, taking advantage of my total ignorance. The pay they offered was lower than what beginner tier magicians earned, but they insisted it was higher than the going rate. Being a complete fool, I took their superficial kindness at face value. I actually remember thinking, I suppose the world does have some decent people in it. I'm sure they would have mistreated me further if I'd stayed with them. They were probably planning to use me as a human shield in battle or force me to cast magic until I fainted. Maybe even to demand sexual favors. But they didn't get the chance, thanks to a young swordsman named Paul Greyrat. After beating down my new friends, he rather forcibly dragged me into his own traveling party, until Elena Lise,
Elena
yeah,
Lees.
yeah, Elena Lise, one of his companions, explained, I was convinced I'd been kidnapped by a violent thug. In any case, that was how I met my future husband. At first, I hated Paul. He was an Asuran noble by birth, but his language was coarse. He broke his promises left and right, acted impulsively, wasted money, and mocked me constantly. Not to mention that he routinely groped my butt and sometimes made highly inappropriate advances. Still, I could tell he wasn't exactly a bad person. He was always coming to my rescue, after all. He made fun of my cluelessness, but in the end, he always sighed and stepped in to help. We were total opposites, but he was dependable, free-spirited, and handsome. I suppose it isn't that surprising that I grew attracted to him. Of course, there were always pretty women around him, and I was a follower of the Millis Church, which preached the virtues of monogamy. I might have run away from home, but the teachings of my faith had been drilled into me daily since I was a child, and everyone I knew in school had been a believer. Its commandments were deeply rooted in my mind. So one day I blurted out these words, "You can sleep with me, but only if you never touch any other woman again." Paul immediately agreed with an easy smile. I knew he was lying to me, of course, but on some level, I didn't mind. Once he broke his promise, I thought I might be able to get over him.
Huh?
But once again, a bit naive, careless, and foolish. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Moon?
I didn't say anything.
I thought I heard you say something. Or were you talking to someone else?
I haven't made a sound as far as I know.
I didn't hear him either.
I thought I heard him say. I thought I heard him say a thing. Oh well.
Mm-mm.
Continuing on.
Nope.
Yeah. I never even considered that I might get pregnant after a single night with him. I was so hopeless, anxious, and afraid. I certainly didn't expect that Paul would actually do the honorable thing and marry me the way he did. The child I bore with him was a son, as it turned out. Rudius Greyrat. My little Rudy. At the moment, Rudy was crouched next to his sister's cribs with a very serious expression on his face, so much like his father's. Frowning intently, he peered into one crib for a moment, then looked over into the other.
Hold on.
Norn began to fuss, and Rudy's expression stiffened even further. But an instant later, he stuck out his tongue at her and made a silly face. Nodding in satisfaction as Norn gurgled happily, Rudius resumed his previous serious expression. This time, it was Aisha who piped up out of nowhere. Rudius immediately turned to face her, pressed his palms against his cheeks, and mumbled, Clearly amused, Aisha let out a happy little... Once again, Rudy nodded to himself with a grin of pure pleasure. He'd been keeping up this little routine for quite a while now. At the sight of Rudy's smile, I couldn't help but let out a little laugh of my own. It wasn't something you saw every day, after all. Rudy always had the most serious expression on. No matter how well things went with his sword practice or his magic, he never looked particularly satisfied. He almost never let me or Paul see him smile, and when he did, it was usually a forced, awkward grin. But now, he was making silly faces to amuse his little sisters and smiling with genuine pleasure when it worked. Just watching him put me in a pretty good mood myself. We come a long way from the way things used to be. I sighed quietly to myself. recalling Rudy's early years. At first, I'd been overjoyed when he discovered his talent for magic, but after a while, I'd started to feel like he was so talented that he secretly looked down on the rest of us. I wondered if he even loved his family at all. He'd never really gotten that attached to me, for one thing. But I had it all wrong, of course. I realized this in the midst of our greatest family crisis, the day Lilia announced her pregnancy and Paul confessed that he was responsible. I felt so terribly betrayed by the both of them, so angry and so sad. In particular, I was so furious at Paul for breaking his vows to me that I felt about ready to explode. I was on the verge of either screaming, "Get out!" to Lilia or announcing that I was leaving myself. It took an effort of will to keep myself calm.
Richie, looks like there's another body.
I have already got it. I'm already handling it. Shut
There's
up and
another
move
one.
on.
Okay. Before our marriage, I expected Paul to prove himself a liar and planned to dump him once he did. I'd almost forgotten about that, but apparently my feelings hadn't changed. I was so upset that I was ready to break apart our family for good. But in the end, Rudy changed my mind. Playing the part of a guileless child, he stepped in to guide things to a neat conclusion. His methods weren't exactly admirable, of course, and even if I believed his little story, it certainly wouldn't have convinced me to forgive my wayward husband. Still, from Rudy's words and the expression on his face, I could see what he was really feeling, deep down inside. He was afraid, terrified his family was going to break apart. The moment I realized that, I finally understood that he did love us in his own way, and I wanted nothing more than to reassure him. My anger softened. I managed to bring myself to forgive both Paul and Lilia on the spot. If not for Rudy, things wouldn't have worked out that way. I think
Oh,
this
this is
Rudy.
me. Okay. Oh, you're
Yeah.
such a cutie pie, Norn. You're gonna be real pretty, just like mommy. Yeah.
And now, here he was, playing with Norn's little hands and smiling happily. My ever-serious little son was soothing his sister with silly baby talk. He's so reliable. I've been a bit in awe of Rudy's talents for quite some time, but lately I was starting to appreciate his dependability as well. Things had been truly hectic after Aisha and Norn were born. Our two new daughters cried at all hours of the night, puked up half the milk we fed them, and routinely pooped when we were bathing them. Lilia told me all of this was perfectly natural, that it was only to be expected, but in no time, I was utterly exhausted. For days and days, I barely got a wink of sleep. But then Rudy stepped in and started to handle all sorts of things for us, without even being asked. He was oddly skillful with the babies. It's almost as if he cared for one before, although that couldn't possibly be the case. I suppose he must have picked up a few things from watching Lilia. That's our Rudy for you. I wasn't particularly happy that my son was better at soothing my own child than I was, but it was still an enormous help. I'd never seen a boy at his age so helpful and reliable, or even capable of looking after newborn babies the way he did. Watching him work sometimes reminded me of my brother, who presumably still lived back in the holy country. Like Rudy, he was serious, diligent, and talented. My father always told us to learn from his example, but he was also cold to his family, and ignored his little sisters almost completely. As nobles went, he was a good and honest man, but I didn't think much of him as a brother. Rudy was obviously going to be different. He was going to be a good big brother, the kind who earned his sister's admiration. That certainly seemed to be his intention, at least. He'd actually announced,
I'm gonna be the coolest, most perfect big brother ever.
to Paul when they looked down at Norn and Aisha. I was already eager to see what the three of them would be like in a few years' time.
Yeah.
At this point, I was startled out of my reverie by Norn, who had begun crying loudly. Rudy's body jerked in surprise, but he quickly turned to her crib to make more silly faces.
Yeah.
This time, Norn didn't stop bawling. Rudy touched her diaper to see if it was wet, then picked her up and checked her back for rashes, but the waterworks just kept flowing. If I'd been on my own, I probably would have gotten flustered and called for Lilia, only to fall into an outright panic once I remembered she was out shopping at the moment. But Rudy stayed admirably calm. Working by process of elimination, he checked carefully for potential problems. After a while, he clapped his hands and turned to me.
Mother, I think it's time for her milk.
Come to think of it, it was about that time of day, wasn't it? The hours really did fly when I watched Rudy playing with his sisters. Right, of course.
Here, have a seat.
I lowered myself into the chair Rudy pulled up for me, opened my blouse, and took my bawling baby into my arms. Norn had clearly been quite hungry, just as Rudy thought. She immediately pressed her little mouth to my nipple and began to suckle greedily. The sensation always made me intensely conscious of my own motherhood. After a moment, I realized that Rudy was watching. Whenever I breastfed Norn, he tended to stare. It wasn't just a curious, innocent gaze either. There was an element of interest you wouldn't expect from a 7-year-old. It was cute to see him, yeah. It was cute to see him doing something so much like what Paul did, but if Rudy was already like this at his age, there was probably going to be some trouble down the line. The last thing I wanted was for him to go around breaking women's hearts left and right, the way his father had. What's the matter, Rudy? Do you want some too?
Huh?
Startled by my little joke, Rudy jerked his head away and blushed a brilliant shade of red.
No, that's not
No.
it.
I was like,
I was just impressed by how much she's drinking.
it was a bit cute seeing him flustered. I couldn't help laughing a little. Sorry, but I need my milk for Norn now. You had plenty when you were a baby, so don't be greedy now, all right?
Of course, Mother.
Rudy agreed easily enough, but I saw a slight hint of regret on his face. Definitely an unusual reaction coming from him, and extremely adorable. Maybe I'd tease him a little more. Well, if you're desperate, once you get yourself a wife, why don't you ask her if she'll give you some?
Good idea. I'll have to try that out someday.
I was expecting him to get all surly and defensive at this point, but he parried my remark with a calm expression. I suppose he figured out I was just messing with him. No fun, but that's Rudy for you, I suppose. Don't go forcing her, mind you.
Yes, I know.
It always made me feel a bit melancholy to see him acting all grown up like this. I turned my attention back to Norn, who had had her fill. After patting her on the back until she let out a little burp, I gently placed her back in the crib. As I wiped off my breast with a cloth, I realized Rudy was staring at me again. Whoever does marry him might have a tough time of it. Sophie seems like the leading candidate at the moment, and that girl tends to do anything Rudy tells her to. She might not be able to say no even when she wants to. All right then, if worse come to worse, I'll just have to set him straight. I was Rudy's mother, after all. Paul might teach him how to seduce women, but I teach him how to treat them right.
Too bad about that.
I know.
What's up?
Upset. Norn looked quite satisfied now that she had something in her stomach. It didn't take her long for her to start nodding off in her crib. That's the way, I murmured softly, stroking her little head. Drink lots of milk, get lots of sleep, and grow up nice and healthy. Unfortunately, Aisha picked this moment to start
Aisha.
fussing a little herself. Oh, sorry. Unfortunately, Aisha picked this moment to start fussing a little herself. Tearing his eyes away from my breast, Rudy peered down into the other crib.
What's the matter, Aisha? Is your back a little itchy?
Just as he'd done for Norn a bit before, he picked Aisha up, checked her diaper, and looked for rashes and insect bites. But after a moment, still holding the baby in his arms, he turned to me with an uncharacteristically anxious expression. I did like seeing different emotions on Rudy's face, but I didn't want him looking that troubled very often. What's the matter, Rudy?
Mother, Miss Lily is a little late today, isn't she?
Come to think of it, you're right. Normally she would have returned from her shopping trip by now. Could something have happened? No. A group of merchants from the Citadel of Roa were in town. She'd mentioned she was planning to buy a bit more than usual. It was probably just taking a little longer than expected.
Well, you see, about Aisha,
Yes?
I think she's hungry too.
Oh, I see. We tended to feed our babies at the same time, so it made sense they'd both get hungry at the same time as well. Normally, I breastfed Norn while Lilia took care of Aisha, but at this point I finally understood that awkward expression on Rudy's face. Slowly, cautiously, he continued, clearly choosing every word with care.
Mother, there's no telling when Miss Lilia will get back. I'm sure Aisha could wait a while, but if she keeps crying, Norn might wake up too, so,
As a faithful member of the Millis Church, I was still unhappy with both Paul and Lilia for breaking our marriage vows. I knew they didn't subscribe to my faith, but it was never pleasant to have someone disregard your values, and Rudy had obviously picked up on all this. He was afraid his suggestion might upset me. He was worried I might even take out my displeasure on his little sister. The boy was clearly anxious. From his perspective, Norn, Aisha, and I were all equally family, and given where things now stood, I ought to feel the same. Still, was this really a good idea? What if breastfeeding Aisha made me feel anger or revulsion? What if Rudy saw hatred on my face and despised me for it? Oh, really now, what are you going on about, Rudy? Come on, give me Aisha, I answered in the kindest voice I could, trying to shake off my own uncertainty.
of course.
Rudy said. Slowly, hesitantly, he deposited Aisha in my arms. After exposing the opposite breast from the one Norn had just been using, I lifted her up to it. I probably would have felt a bit upset if Aisha had kicked up a fuss at this point, but she latched right onto me and started gulping down milk immediately. Too quietly for Rudy to hear, I breathed a little sigh of relief. I felt the exact same way I did when I was feeding Norn. My heart was full of a warm, pleasant awareness of my own motherhood, and nothing else. How odd. Why had I hesitated, even slightly, to bring Aisha to my breast? Why had I thought this would make me feel unhappy? Why did I think of this as some trial I had to endure? It was all so much simpler than I thought. I was a mother. Nothing else really mattered. Whether you're a member of the Millis Church or not, it doesn't really make a difference when it comes down to things like this.
She's certainly guzzling it down, isn't she?
Oh, sorry, that's me.
Oh, sorry.
And then him. Yeah, it's okay. I had to go forward. She's certainly guzzling it down, isn't she?
Well, your milk is delicious, Mother.
That's an odd attempt at flattery, Rudy. Seeing Aisha happily suckling at my breast, and the contented expression on my own face, Rudy smiled with obvious relief. He clearly regarded protecting his little sisters to be his duty. Very admirable. His desire to become a good big brother, worthy of their adoration, seemed to be quite genuine.
It's not flattery. I still remember how it tasted.
Do you really now? Chuckling softly, I reached down to stroke Aisha's little head. After a while, she finished up and took her mouth from my breast. Only moments later, she was nodding off in my arms, so I lowered her back into their crib. Rudy watched from a distance, his gaze warmer than usual. Hey, Rudy.
Yes? What is it?
Mind if I stroke your head a bit?
You don't need to ask my permission. Feel free to pet me anytime.
After slowly sitting at my side, Rudy leaned his head towards me invitingly. I reached down and began to stroke it gently. Rudy was our first child, and he never needed much from us. Most of the time, I didn't feel like I was much of a parent to him, but recently that had begun to change. I truly was this boy's mother, and he truly was my son. Sensing a bit of warmth, I turned in its direction. Spring sunshine was streaming in through the window. Outside, golden fields of wheat stretched out as far as the eye could see. It was the picture of a peaceful spring afternoon. As I gazed quietly out of it, a sense of happiness washed over me. For some reason, I felt utterly content. I wish this moment could last forever.
Me too.
Rudy murmured with a nod. I suppose he also found this little domestic scene pleasantly tranquil, but it was only thanks to him that I could feel the same. If he hadn't intervened as a pious member of the Millis Church reduced to one wife of two, I would probably have stormed out of this house with Norn, cursing my misfortune. Or stay behind, perhaps to take out my resentment on Lilia and Aisha. Thank goodness for Rudy. If he wasn't such a wise and clever little boy, I never would have experienced this blissful moment. Rudy?
Yes, Mother?
Thank you for being born. Startled, Rudy looked up at me. After an awkward pause, he scratched his head and answered in an adorably bashful tone of voice.
Well, thank you for having me.
My only reply was another chuckle of amusement.
And
Character design concept gallery.
There's Sylphie. Little Sylphie. Then we have young Rudy. Baby. Yeah.
Yep.
3, 5,
Baby.
and 6. I'm guessing those are ages 3, 5, and 6.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yep, there's
Yeah,
Bebe,
probably.
Man Bebe,
And
Wizard
Also,
Bebe.
that last scene kind
Ah.
of hurt my heart.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That really hurts.
Yeah,
With
it hurt
robe,
me too, and
without
also when
robe.
reading it. Yeah. Wizard robe.
And
Xena.
Lilith
That
and
little
Xena.
chibi of Roxy.
Then we get Paul's sword and Ghislaine's sword.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the chibi of Roxy. That's adorable. And there we go.
She's small.
That's it.
Is she
We
also
have
separate
finished-
character too?
We have finished volume 2. What?
No, it says Chibi Roxy, her own character. Will she show up later?
No.
No.
That's just
No,
showing
I
how
wish.
short-
That's kind of
that's
funny
just
though.
showing
Just a
how
cute
short
thing they
Roxy
did.
actually is.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. But yeah, guys, that is it for volume 1 of Mushoku Tensei. We will see you next week as we start volume 2. Electric
I
Boogaloo.
actually think you said we finished volume 2
Woo!
as
We're
well.
gonna rock down to electric.
We finished volume 1. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week for more content. If you don't have volume 2, now's a good time to purchase it.
Yep.
Very good time to purchase it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Also, for those of you who are interested, Dragon Hatchling, volume 7 of Dragon Hatchling comes out on the 5th, And then on the 20th, volume 19 of Slime is coming out. So get ready for that. We've got 2 big drops coming up in August, and then I think the next big one that I know about is in November. Anyhow, I'm trying to keep eyes peeled for the content that we're doing and other books that I'm reading to try and make sure we get more of that. But yeah, that's it for us. Thank you guys so much. Any final thoughts? I can't say anything more because I am really getting dangerously close to talking spoilers.
That's fair. It's fine. I mean,
Yeah,
we're getting to
that's where my thoughts are too, because
This, I did not realize how much going back and rereading this now would hurt.
Yeah.
With the context of everything. Well, here's the problem. Here's the big problem, right? I have the context of reading the full fucking series.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, on top of watching this show.
On
too,
top
at
of
this
watching
point.
the show. So I've read all 26 volumes. So I have the full context of what's going on.
It's gonna be so weird when all of us watch the series, like up like the first 2 seasons, and then we actually get to that point in the book. It's
where
like,
we can
guys,
talk
we don't
about
know
this
all
stuff.
caught
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, especially like considering what we are now at different levels of like.
I
knowledge
want
of
us.
the
I
series.
want us to get caught up because I want to get to that part where we hit turning point 4, and like shit goes crazy, and then everybody's like, "Oh fuck, this is what we have to look forward to next season." We're like, "Yeah, dude." Like none of the other turning points were paltry in comparison to what's happening. And it's not like earth-shattering scale-wise. It's just it destroys. It definitely does destroy some people's world. That's as far as I will go with that. Anyhow, turning point 4 is a biggie. All right.
Okay.
That being said, yeah, I think that's it for us, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Good night, guys. Bye-bye.